So welcome back,
Next
gentlemen,
week.
to session number 5 of Torchbearer. So we're in the back half now. You guys have my goal with all of this obviously was to sort of get you somewhat familiar with the process of the game, just to understand its components and its procedures. And I definitely wanted to sort of have and probably get to around level 3 is kind of what I was kind of expecting. I think that's even what Luke says in the game book. But I definitely wanted to sort of have an experience of like going to the dungeon, camping, going to town, going back to the dungeon, maybe, kind of contextualizing what the game is like after you've restocked, maybe go back to town another time. So we're right on schedule for where I want to be. And between you and the other group, the dungeon is beginning to become explored and mapped. Of course, sadly, the mage of the other group, of the Saturday group, has decided to leave the campaign. So that's another Saturday person gone. And of course, Thaddeus, a.k.a. Garrick, the mage, had the map. So now...
Heard about
sad, so sad.
So in a twist of in an unbelievable twist of events, the Saturday group for once is actually had a stroke of bad luck.
So yeah, the first 3 sessions we did not have one and they did, and now we have one and they don't.
That's correct. So for those of you rejoining us, by the way, shout out to the person on YouTube who left a lovely comment for us. I'm assuming they were being snarky, which is fine. They said, "I've heard of people turning role-playing games into board games, but I had never seen it until now." Very odd. And it was a comment on our last video.
Hilarious.
Yes, to be clear, there is no board, so it cannot be a board game. But it is a virtual board. No, but it is a highly proceduralized game. Speaking of, we are back. So that means that we have that opportunity here to start off with a prologue. And that is going to allow someone to alleviate a condition. Now, right now, the group has come straight out of town. They've made their way back to the ruined circle of Caravanal, and they stand on the precipice of re-entering the dungeon. And currently, right now, they're actually in fairly decent shape in terms of conditions. Doesn't look like anyone has a condition. So the only thing that you might want to do is give the prologue is if you wanted to recover a point of taxed nature.
Which I have no points of taxed nature.
It looks like only Bob does.
I gave it last time, and I do not care to do it again.
All right, Bob gave it last time, so no one can give it, and it looks like no one... Oh, wait. Boothby, you're completely burdenless?
Yes.
All right. And GM Scott...
I am planning on giving the prologue next time.
Okay.
Epilogue.
And GM Scott, you obviously have all your memory palace filled as well.
I do.
So it actually doesn't matter.
All one slot.
It doesn't actually matter who gives the prologue, so... If somebody wants to, and it could even be bad because it won't matter.
Your prologue was so bad you forgot your spell.
But since we don't have anyone who could do a prologue, I will just quickly summarize. The group went to town last time. That was kind of the long and the short of it. They strategically broke up their coins. They made several purchases in town to refill supplies. They were able to make good on many of their purchases, and many members of the group were able to get their resources score up from 0 to 1. Maybe even somebody got a resource score of 2. And is that Erber?
Some of us are still at 0.
Yeah.
Erber got a resources score of 2, so good for Erber. Carnalas, not so much. You're still at 0. You didn't make a single successful check.
Not for...
We only had the one check. Well, some of us only got the one check at the end.
Well, right. I'm saying some people bought stuff too, and then
I didn't. Nothing like... I didn't do any of that stuff.
Meanwhile, Amos and Tane were able to sort of handle some spell casting duties and get their burden removed in the case of the Theurge, and craft some scrolls in the case of GM Scott, leading to one of the more hilarious instances of scroll crafting I've seen in a long time, where the group was collectively scavenging the town for bits and pieces of paper to write this stuff on. We also somehow threw together a rope, right? Out of
spider silk rope.
Silk rope. That was
the weavers just on the edge of town.
Right, that's right. The weavers who helped you guys out on the end of town.
That we befriended for turning in the body of that poor shepherd boy, Kurt.
Kurt.
That was abused by the other group.
Right. And at the end of the day, the group was able to refill their supplies. I'm going to shoot over to the inventory screen so people at home can see this. So what do we got? Well, right now we are sitting at, well, looks like we got a nice little assortment of stuff here. Everyone has a full inventory. The water jugs and skins are full. The group on paper, they don't have enough food, but they were relying on the prodigious cooking skills of Sadok Saddlebelly to turn those fresh rations into complete meals at camp. They've got somewhere between 10 to 12 torches. They've still got some sacks for carrying out loot, and of course, everyone is fully re-equipped in terms of armors, helmets, and the like. So they're in a pretty good spot. In fact, 2 people, Erber and Sadok, have the fresh condition, so long as they will keep that until they gain a new condition. Meanwhile, everybody is sitting on a good bank of persona points, and Sadok even has 5 fucking fate points. So get to it, buddy. So we should be able to pull out some nice whammies here. So that's the prologue. So you guys can, and of course, after the town events were completed, they made their way back to the ruined circle of Carvanal because they are still under the Geas effect from the spirit of the reliquary, which is to say that they cannot dawdle, else they will suffer conditions until they eventually die, because they have become honor bound and duty bound to seek out and deal with the menace of this dungeon, so that they can acquire the Dragonbone dagger, the Dragonbone blade. So that takes us to setting goals, updating beliefs, and updating instincts. So as a reminder to everybody, if you accomplish your goal, you'll receive a persona point. If you make good progress toward your goal, you'll receive a fate point. If you take strong action in line with your beliefs, you will earn a fate point. And if you take extremely strong, really, really hammer it home action against your belief, you will earn a persona point and will have to change your belief. And lastly, your instinct allows you to take an action for free. In fact, you kind of don't have a say in it. However, if that action does help the group, you'll earn a fate point at the end of the session. So we discussed briefly at the end of last session what you guys wanted to do, and you guys have kind of talked a little bit about this out of the game. So where are we? What are we doing today? What are the goals, folks?
I think I have a goal.
Yeah.
Someone's goal better be to get that necklace off that skeleton.
I think my goal is to cleanse the bottom of the well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of its vile undead inhabitants. If that is acceptable.
Yeah. That sounds like a good goal.
Could I will explore Almoth or whatever the name of this dungeon is more?
I would be a little bit more specific than just explore it. Explore it for what?
Right? It was a harp, violin.
It's
what
a
was
harp.
that thing we were looking for?
There is a harp. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Euphonious. Harp of the grave.
I thought for sure Matt was going for the necklace, so I'm going to make my goal to get that necklace off the skeleton.
Herbert's goal is to find the harp.
Yep.
Sadok I don't think shares the enthusiasm of going down there with the intent that the rest of the party has. So his goal
Yes.
is I don't know. I want to say not die, but that is not.
No, that's
I think that's a given.
That's kind of a given.
Something with the group.
Again, remember, it's got to be something proactive, right? It's got to be something that you can work towards, something that you can accomplish, and something that you can take action towards. That's the most important part.
Can I say find unexplored rooms?
No, because that's kind of like what Erber was saying.
Yeah, right. what I find interesting is the conflict between what they want to do and what Sadok wants to do, but I don't know how to put that into a goal, because
GM Scott, what about you?
Yeah.
My goal would be to successfully cast a spell.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could probably put something like that, but you'd have to be like a little bit more like, my goal is to, prove the value of my new magics or something like that.
And that's kind of what it was going to be, because, my belief then is that I need to gain strength, because until then I was horrible.
Right.
Now I have this newfound strength. I need to prove that this is actually worthwhile. So something like, I don't know, help defend the party by casting Wizard's Aegis, or, in a combat.
Yeah,
I mean, how specific you need to be, but that's intent.
I think that a specific goal is better than, it should be smart, right? Specific, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and timely. So, drive back evil with my Wizard's Aegis. That's a totally acceptable goal. You want to make it sound cool.
I do.
All right.
Something with the Geas is something like get the group back on track with the Geas. Work towards completing the Geas is to make progress.
Yeah, but the thing is like, how would we judge if that was successful or not?
Find treasure.
Well, that's
starting
not
to sound like me now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just having trouble.
That's okay.
So I'm just grasping.
It's all good, dude. I'm just being stupid.
Yeah, there's no right.
So we have a harp. We don't have anything else. To prove our value to the spirit.
Right. If obviously the spirit has its goal, right? Or like you have its mission or whatever like that in order to get that done. So
you could also like do something with traps and stuff like that. I don't want to fall into another pit trap. You could be like, making sure that the party does not succumb to any like downfalls in the trap area.
That's still my.
I can't say like to make sure our my goal is to make sure our stomachs are full and then we're
no, because that's kind of double dipping with your instinct. So
yeah.
Generally speaking, no.
I just thought it'd be cool if you were like saved us by making sure some trap doesn't come out. But that's more of an instinct than it is that's
what I have for instinct. Always search for traps and doorways.
I'm gonna debo this skeleton's chain real quick though.
Yeah, I guess I'll just say is to prove our value to our worthiness to the spirit.
Okay, that's fine.
And once things become clear, maybe maybe then that's
right.
I change.
I mean, it's one of those things where it could happen. I mean, obviously, reasonably, if the spirit's like, "You have proved yourself worthy," then you obviously accomplish your goal and earn your persona point.
Said the thing.
But there might something might happen that I might not complete it, but
right. But you could earn progress toward it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So all beliefs and instincts are good. We don't have to update any of those.
I do want to change an instinct.
Okay.
Potentially. I love the flavor of I always volunteer for the dirty job, but has been kind of hit and miss as to whether I can get anything to justify it.
Yep.
So I'd like to change it to something to do with healing in camp.
Okay.
Treat the wounded, treat the ill when we camp.
Yeah. You wanna yes, tend to the ill or tend to the hurt when we get to camp. That's totally fine. I had a hurt. Well, if you guys get to it, I'll worry about it then. Oh, there it is.
Otherwise, I'm good to go.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Now,
yeah.
Can I assume that all of the uses of the traits that we did in town cleared as well?
Oh, yeah. Yes, everything should be cleared. Everything should be cleared. You keep any checks that you have. It doesn't look like you guys have any checks, but if you've earned checks. But
you mean like the checks for our traits?
Yeah.
Right.
I cleared one of those.
No, you get to keep it.
Okay. I have one then.
Yeah. Now you can still earn checks from that trait this session. You can still earn checks from a trait each session. But if you had traits left over from the last time, I would mark it on your on your sheet.
Thank you.
All right. So we also can see here that we have a little bit of an overlay. This is the
map.
The map of Tain. And so here's where we're at. You guys are at the Circle of Caravanel. You have access to, via your map, you have access to your super secret camp. You have access to the well shaft, which will take you down into the ancient tomb. You can also go down, partially down the shaft to the stairway, which will lead you back to the Hall of Azure Mists, which you also can then take to enter to the web-filled halls, or re-enter into the reliquary vault. Now, you do know of a statue hall that exists somewhere off of the Hall of Azure Mists. However, that is not on your map. You know it's there, but you'd have to find your way there again with dungeoneering checks. It's not on your map. There's also a door, unexplored door, still in the Hall of Azure Mists, which you've never gone through. There's also there's ways, there's other passages out of stuff like this well, too, that you have not been to. Many of those hallways go to a variety of locations, including deeper.
Yeah, I say go deeper. The good stuff's got to be at the bottom.
All right. Well, you guys have one turn down from when you left town to get to here. That was the Pathfinder test to get here. So you have one turn down on the grind, and we will begin the adventuring phase. All right. Sunday crew, go forth and Torchbearer.
Bear torches.
All
right.
That our party captain, right?
Yeah, I guess this is a new expedition. Does someone else want to be the leader?
Besides Amos? This new powerful wizard might want to take the lead.
Remember,
the wizard is fine with Amos.
All right. It sounds like you are still the party leader, Theurge. So
I was never the party leader.
I think I was the party leader. He was a conflict leader a handful of times.
Got it. All right. Well, in that case, Bob, you are the party leader.
Well, I will always have my friends' backs. So,
and keep in mind that if you're the party leader, you get power, because Bob gets to break ties, and I basically will listen to him, so he gets to push the agenda a little bit.
Well, last time we left off, Amos made a convincing argument about heading down to some explored areas that we've had before, knowing what we know now and meta Torchbearer experience and how the cards work. We feel like with our spells and fully rested, we could maybe catch the enemy by surprise. Before, maybe Chronolus and other party members would have been fearful of the fight, but everyone but Sadak seemed eager to jump in, and so we are reluctantly pulling Sadak with us to depths, and I am going for that gold chain today.
So, I think Erber has him in the sack, right?
He has what in the sack?
The halfling.
No, that's gone. We delivered him.
No, the halfling.
The halfling?
Because he doesn't want to go fight the skeletons.
Oh.
I threw him in the sack.
Yeah.
I thought you said he had a sack. I was like, I'm missing the joke somewhere.
Yeah,
sorry.
I also
I got it.
Well, because you said
the halfling got
it. Yeah, you said we're dragging the halfling, and I said no. I thought Erber had him in the stack.
Got it.
Is the rope still there from the last party?
No.
If
Okay.
not,
well, luckily we have
rope.
this. Yeah, we have this new rope.
Right.
Luckily, we have this map that tells us we can just teleport there.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't need to worry about that.
Well, and that's what's
flavorfully.
Well, that's what's very clear about this. It is not teleportation. If you did not have, say, a rope, or the hall or the tunnel had collapsed, then you could not reaccess it. The fiction still has to allow for your transferal through it. So if, for example, the other group had blown up the shaft, then I would say, yeah, it's on your map, but you still can't just teleport down the well shaft. So it's not literally a teleportation. So in the fiction, and of course it doesn't take any time. So you guys are using your supplies and heading down the well?
Yes.
Okay. In that case,
knowing what we're gonna get into.
you proceed down into the depths.
Well, someone needs to probably light a torch. Hold on, before we start thinking about
It is pitch black.
I will light the torch.
You're gonna
Wait.
I was like, before, I was just wondering when Amos decides to,
Yeah, I think
You'll know
we
when
have
I
to
do something.
get ready with the holy water too. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
who's
before we-
blowing.
All right. So we got a torch lit.
Yeah. And light torch.
All right.
I'm
Hey,
floating.
this room looks familiar.
You make your way. You guys make your way down the ancient crumbling stone in a much safer and slower methodology passion than you did last time. And once again, you enter into an ancient tomb filled with cracked and crumbling sarcophagi and having several large arched columned entryways in and out of the chamber. Large broken pillars still support an ancient arched roof, and strange hieroglyphics are carved across various portions of the walls here. The room is full of debris from partially collapsed ceilings and centuries of earthquakes. And the room, as you enter into it, is quiet as the grave. As quiet as the shattered remains of skeletons remains that lay scattered
son
about
of
the
a bitch.
room.
I told you. I
course.
told you they'd kill it on easy mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm guessing the chain's not there.
the torque.
A cursory examination, Bob, does not give you any indication or sign of any glittering torques.
I'm gonna be deboing someone else's chain.
Can I look around and do I see any dead adventurers? Does it look like it was a kill conflict?
Yeah, so Sadok, no test. You're just looking around. You don't see any signs of recently dead humans. You do see what you judge to be the remains of these former skeletal warriors. You can see their sort of crumbled forms. You see their discarded ancient weapons that are sort of broken underneath their shattered bodies. You see a surprising lack of blood.
Easy mode.
Yep.
In fact, if you had to guess, it looks like maybe their elf went Uber Muso mode and completely eliminated all of the skeletons without the group taking a single point of disposition loss.
Wow.
Easy mode.
I don't understand how they do it.
Because Derek likes them better than us.
Yeah, because we have a bomb.
Because we have right. Think about who your elf is, and then think about who their elf is. Their elf
Look at
is
the
Darth.
difficult terrain.
Their elf is Darth Gorlock.
Yeah, it's so true.
That's not even fair.
I still can't shoot him. He's like
They're
feet away.
yeah, their group has Legolas. We have a Keebler elf.
Damn, it's sad because it's true.
Amos comes down. He's like, oh.
Yeah. You come down like you're like ready to bring the wrath of the gods to, and then it's like no, it's just empty.
You just stand there with your fists in the air. Where are my damn skeletons? As it echoes up and down the well.
Right.
I gotta clean this place of evil.
Yeah, well, we need
I'm
to
sure
find
there's more evil.
Yeah, so looking around, again, you do see that there is some strange runic writing along the walls.
Yeah, there's any kind of religious experience or religious meaning to it?
Yeah, go ahead and make a test as you begin to sort of try to decipher this. Yes, GM Scott.
May I aid him
Yeah, with Scholar.
with Scholar? Yes.
Yeah.
Would this be a theologian?
Yes. This is
May I aid him with my wise of Almerthal?
No, because you
dungeon.
keep butchering the name of the dungeon.
Isn't it like Tol Amroth?
Make
it's Tol Amroth. But yes,
Tol Amroth.
there you go. Yes, you can aid with your wise. GM Scott, you can help with your Scholar. But again, remember, describe how you're helping.
I'll be helping him decipher these symbols based on any ancient text that I've read that aren't necessarily religious text. Maybe some of these are outside of the religious the genre.
Yep, absolutely. Boothby, this is going to be an independent OB 2.
Well, that looked pretty good.
Hey, you got it.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
So that is a turn. Hold on a sec. Where's my turn?
You want to put torch timer on Sadak as well?
Oh yeah, I forgot he lit one of them bad boys. It's been a long time since you guys had.
It's not automated, like these other VTTs.
I know. I don't even know.
What are we even doing here?
Right. What are we even doing?
How can you play this game if it's not automated?
I mean, just looking at that background though is very enticing.
Light track torch, clock grind. I gotta find it. Hold on, here we go. Clock torch. Okay. All right. Whoop. I dropped my thing. There we go. All right. So you spend a few moments in the flickering torch light, looking over the winding script of runes here. And GM Scott is able to, Tane is able to offer you a few translations and various possible, interpretations of what some of these symbols mean. But you begin to understand what you are looking at here. This was not a tomb. This was a guard room. And these skeletal warriors were bound here in death to keep something bound. And the golden torques that they all wore were important to that binding. And you can tell that whatever ancient religious ward was binding something here has begun to fail. And from your estimation, Boothby, it is going to fail in 5 phases. So that means, like, you guys are in adventuring phase now. So when you move to camp, that's 1 phase. If you then go to camp back to adventuring, that's the 2nd phase. If you then go from adventuring back to town, that's a 3rd phase. So phase is the entire time you're in town. The runes become less detailed, but they speak of a powerful evil, ancient and from the underworld. That these warriors essentially gave their lives in order to sort of lock away or bind away.
This would be something an elf would remember.
Yes, it could be.
What this ancient evil might be.
Yeah.
A dragon
I mean,
that the
or
spirit told us about before.
I think we have the name of the
dig like the
dragon.
dwarfs do.
This is actually a good use of remembering. Not like, what did I have for breakfast yesterday? It's like, yeah. This is like looking back into the ancient, you're thousands of years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is you looking back across the, eons of your life and trying to, recall this.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to try to remember what I've heard in stories of, ancient fairy tales or ancient, I wouldn't say fairy tales, but, things that we've heard about. Don't go digging too deep in the, you never know when you're going to disturb a blah, blah, blah.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is nature.
This is a nature check for you. Yeah.
Okay. Independent.
Yep.
I wise him with Tol Amroth.
You what? You're close
did
enough.
it.
Yes, I will give it to you this time.
Hey, don't mess with my dyslexia, damn it.
Yes. You Urber is still very wise in the ways of Tol Amroth.
It's an elf name. I'm a dwarf. It takes me a while. All right.
That's fair
They
enough.
have weird pronunciations. I'm like, didn't
Yes.
it remember?
That
sounds familiar.
Call it the dwarf name, Karak Tong, which means shit house.
Oh God. Kalak, you got it.
What is the OB?
The OB is going to be 2, Bob.
Oh gosh. Can I use my firstborn against myself?
If you could possibly figure out a way why.
Wasn't firstborn the elven?
Yeah, but why would that be bad when you're trying to use your elven nature to remember something?
I would think
because he was second born.
Because he's
well, I
the
was
oldest.
thinking I'm going away from my elven nature.
No, but you're not. You're leaning into it.
And then I guess in this specific instance,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm literally trying to get away from progressing to an elf. I'm trying to go the other way.
No, this is definitely a good place to try to earn a check. I agree with
Yeah.
you, but I'm just saying using firstborn in that way doesn't really make sense. This is literally what a firstborn elf would do.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really want to use calm here, so I'm going to go with no trait.
Okay.
So 6 versus 2.
Yep.
And rolling it up.
And then probably mark a pass here. Yep.
Success.
Mark a pass on your nature.
Yep. Got it.
All right. So that's another turn.
Hey, our luck is improving.
Yes.
You rolled 6 dice and managed to get 2 successes.
Karanalos spends a few long moments achingly in this ancient place as the torch goes out. I don't know.
At the exact time I tell them the name of this beast.
Right, as the torch as the torch begins to flicker. I don't know if you guys want to use another torch.
Well, I mean, it's not dangerous down here anymore. The other team is
lighting a second torch.
Yeah.
Did they camp here by any chance? Do we have any tracks? We can follow them and take our necklace back?
Hold on, Herber. Let me tell you the story.
And Karanalos, you now recall, as you sort of sink back through the memories in this place, this writing, this feeling, the ancient elven spirits here, and you now remember the elves' great folly. For when the great sorcerer Peoria unlocked the power of the draconic magics, the elves, in their desperation, turned to darker magics and summoned a great and powerful demon of the ancient world to try to defeat him. And while ultimately the battle was won and Peoria was sealed away in the depths of Tol Amroth, the elves' blunder would end up costing them their great civilization. And countless hundreds of elves lost their lives attempting to seal this great demon away.
So the prairie is the sorcerer, or that's the demon?
Peoria is the elven sorcerer who unlocked the draconic magic and then became mad with power and then started using this place to sort of like as his domain. And so the elves basically unleashed a Balrog to try to like take him out. Demons and dragons, Bob.
I'm on board.
I understand. It was done deliberately. The problem is that the power of these two ancient evils are awakening again at once.
So the dragon's waking up, and this demon seems to be waking up.
Yes. Well, now it is.
It's the sorcerer, right?
Well, it's a sorcerer. It's a sorcerer dragon.
Oh, worse.
Wait. So because the other group was here, and they took the torques.
Yep.
They were integral. Okay.
Yep. Now, to be fair, think of it as this may mean nothing to. Think of them as Queen Dalar seals on the Dark One's prison. If that means anything to anybody.
I look at Bob's character.
It does now.
All right, there you go. It means something. Wait. Bob, did you understand that nerd reference?
If it was a Wheel of Time seal reference,
yes.
Like to the I don't remember what the material is, but
Queen Dalar.
Okay, yeah. The
also called Heartstone.
The dark one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and they're breaking. And they don't hold what they once did.
Right. So the seal has not completely destroyed, but in removing these guardians, these elves who basically gave their lives in order to sort of seal away the demon, and removing the torques, those wards, those protective energies have started to fail.
Was there 4 or 5 skeletons last time?
There were 4.
Four. Wonder if these torques are in town. And go get them back and bring them back.
I look at Bob's character and go, "You sure you don't want to go to that new world you keep talking about? And can I come with you?"
It would be just like Nickerby to unleash a ancient evil.
I feel like Vest had a hand in this as well.
Now, Boothby, you do believe, due to your check, that you could potentially reseal these wards with a what is it, ritualist?
Yep.
You with a ritualist check. However, the ob is very high. The ob is lower for each torque that you have.
Saw that coming.
So in theory, you could try this without the torques and just try to be, channel the power of the gods and go ham. But yeah.
And it requires the sacrifice of a dwarf, a halfling, and an elf.
No, 4 dwarves or 4 humans. That's
yeah. That would be good payback for Bob.
Yeah, that would be good payback for Bob. Yes, I should also point that out, Boothby. The ob also gets lower if for each person you're willing to sacrifice. So
Good to know.
I'm sure there's
the writings on the wall were very explicit about that part, Boothby.
Well, I make
we just kind of look at each other.
Right.
We won't talk about that part.
Right. There's this like nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah,
The
we
two
got
humans.
and then we look at Erber.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to help you guys too much, but
We need the harp.
lest you guys accuse me of Saturday favoritism. Now,
That's not an accusation.
Okay.
That's just
It's true.
a fact.
listen, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like those guys are just better. I mean, what do you want from me?
Yeah, that's why they keep dropping off.
Thinking
You know
what they
what?
want, they leave.
You know what? Yeah, they have nothing more to
you
prove.
can't have that much talent on one team.
Yeah, right. Like they had to break it up. They had to break up the big banks. It was too much talent. Those guys got what they came for, and then they were like,
Constant
I'm out.
influx of fresh wine every time.
So what I was going to say is, you guys have a unique situation here where if you guys take one more thing that requires a turn, you guys are going to grind, which will give everybody hungry and thirsty, and get rid of your guys' fresh conditions. But Bob has a check, so you could go camp. And if you camp, now you'll have 1 check and instincts, but it would reset the grind and potentially keep Ryan and Laughing Out Loud fresh. So just something to consider.
In camping, when we camp, my instinct is to update the map, which means I could update it to town. Because right now we don't have a map to town.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah. And now, Ryan, you would cook, but if you don't cook and a group takes a turn, everyone's going to be hungry and thirsty anyways. So, but that instinct won't help you. But then people won't be hungry and thirsty. So it is kind of, philosophically the same thing. So it's up to you guys. I'm just letting you know, like, from the way the mechanics work.
What are you guys
Yeah,
thinking? Should we post up camp in this area?
I think.
Well, no, you're on the map. You could go back up
We
the
have
shaft
a
to your
camp.
secret camp.
Oh,
Or
that's
perfectly
right.
super secret camp.
Because you're on the map. As long as you're not in
The
any
one
sort
that
of...
gives us that bonus.
Sadok, see, I knew it wasn't that big of a difference if we went down or up.
My brother was here first.
I've been looking forward to this for 2 weeks.
Well, the funny thing is, you guys were the group that went first. So
Yeah.
it's literally they are just like, you guys were like, oh, let's go this way, and they're like, oh, let's go the other way. And they're like, oh, look at all this treasure.
We fell down here off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
That's true. You guys did have a much rougher entry into the dungeon than they did. So there's that. All right.
With our map, Tane, we could go in a different way or go in a different way to a new area. Is there a place that we are looking for? Maybe highlighting.
Let me actually bring you guys up. Let me bring up.
Because I don't
I
mind
would
going
like to
back up.
explore.
I got to bring up.
camp.
Let me show you the map
I got to bring up the
Oh,
map.
Thank you.
that Derek is bringing up.
Oh no, I'm bringing up my map.
Oh, okay. Well, let's look at it.
Okay. So, from here, actually, you guys from this chamber, there are actually sort of 2 ways that you can go. If you leave the one way, you know that leads into the web-filled passages that you guys have been through before. But there is the other way, of the other side of leaving this chamber, through the other stoned columned archway. And that leads into those endless empty halls, which is what you guys were running through the one time. And that's where you guys encountered that corridor of statues. So you can leave from here. Either you can go into the web-filled passages, which is on your map, and you could
do
go
have a
there.
camp there.
And you do have a camp there. Or you could head out of this into sort of what I call the empty halls, which is, basically they're not web filled, but they're just like endless long corridors that connect everything together. And that might lead to somewhere else as well. And you know that there is the corridor of statues there. You've seen them when you were fleeing, but you would have to make a dungeoneer check to get back there. But that would also grind you.
Yeah. So if we go camp
Yep.
in our super secret safe camp,
Yep.
guys, then we can, because I imagine that we get down here, we're all excited, we're ready to go to fight these guys. There's nothing here. So it's like womp womp. Now what? So we need to regroup. We need to keep our mental freshness going. So I think camping is a good idea.
Now, I'm also going to throw another thing under you at the bus. Remember, you and Boothby just deciphered that in 5 phases, the demon will be released. If you go camp, that is phase 1.
That was a phase.
Yeah.
So, Malphus Sheknor is coming. That's all.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good thing the other team didn't have to worry about the consequences of their actions.
No, they did not. There was
They just, hey, gold, let's leave.
They are very smart. They are very, very smart.
Because ultimately, I mean, we need to find this harp.
Yeah.
And we can't waste a lot of time. We have 5 phases to find this harp.
The harp is to, what is the harp is just to get the dagger to slay the dragon. The demon is coming
show that we're
first.
worthy.
The demon is on a clock.
Yeah.
Is the dragon sorcerer?
Yeah.
Or is the dragon a different dragon?
No, that it's the dragon sorcerer.
Okay, so we would so if we were able to reseal it, we wouldn't even need the dragon dagger.
No, there's 2 threats. There is a demon that is going to break out in 5 phases.
Okay.
There is a dragon sorcerer also down here that you have to use the dagger to kill.
Oh, that one is
harp,
that one's
dagger,
not bound.
dragon sorcerer. Totally separate problem.
Sounds like we need to free the dragon sorcerer to fight the demon.
Well, to be fair, that's what the elves originally tried. That was their original plan. So, listen, stranger things have happened. And
it worked well for them.
You could. What are you going to do? We're going to haggle with the demon. Listen, we got a deal for you.
So we have this other party that's like on easy mode. It's getting a little too much GM favoritism.
We offer you
go after them. Yeah.
Now, if we did go back to camp and we camped, and obviously your instinct triggers, Tane, is there any benefit, Amos, to trying to get these torques? Maybe they're in town, because then we could fast travel to town, can't we?
So I'll tell you this: they won't be, because remember, the last people to play was you, because I didn't play the Saturday crew.
Right,
they're
behind us.
Because they now have swapped, because I didn't play with them last week because I was in PAX. I was in PAX. So the last people to play was you. So they haven't actually. They have not.
So the other team's still in the dungeon here somewhere.
That is correct.
So
we gotta find them.
That is correct. You guys are both currently in the dungeon.
We have to find them and raid them.
Yep, find them and steal the
torch. Can we track them? Is it possible? Can we do a Pathfinder tracking or Dungeoneering tracking to find them and raid them?
Scout check.
I think it would be scout. I think. I don't know. Yes, possibly.
I mean, and I know that you like direct PvP wasn't.
I mean, look, if they're in the dungeon and I have to play them as NPCs, then I have to play them as NPCs. That's just.
Not we're gonna
you know what would really get them? What would really get them? If we find them and we do a convince argument and win.
Yeah, they can't come after us now. We convinced them.
I'm like, guys, you don't have the torques. Why? The other party convinced you that they were better to have.
Maybe they didn't know the folly they were getting into. I don't know. They may not have deciphered the runes.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so I guess our 2 options, in my opinion, that I see: camp. We can go back up to camp, or we can go into the web-filled passages to camp, or we can try maybe this new. I mean, not it's new, but it's the endless corridors or something like that. If you guys want, I don't know what you guys' thoughts are.
Or we waste enough phases so that when the Saturday group plays, the demon just pops out on top of their face.
We just go to camp at the exact moment the 5th phase is about to end, and then just wash our hands of it.
Like they did.
We've only played for an hour. Time to we're done.
We do 4 phases back to back, and then
yes, because I don't mind going back up to camp. I my whole goal here has been crushed in front of me, that this has not happened, and I would like to explore further. But I understand that some of you are feeling so good and driven right now that I feel like we should maybe take a breather, like Tane said, and regroup.
Yeah. So what we gain by camping is
we
potential
stay
mapping
for you guys.
We stay fresh.
Yes.
There you go. There's our
And I have one camp.
there's our enemies facing off.
This looks like dungeon meshy.
Sadak and Nickerby and Karanalas and Vess.
Bastards. Yeah, he looks like the dark side of myself.
All right. Anyways.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know if you got what you're. I mean, I was initially just going to go up to camp, but if anybody is strong against it, if not, I'm going to start climbing.
Well, you're the leader, Bob.
Man.
I'm going to make a decision. I'm just waiting to hear the argument that says no.
I mean, I don't necessarily mind losing. It's gonna happen, I guess.
All right, sounds good.
So, where are we going?
Back up to camp.
He said he's going to camp, and we're going to camp.
Okay. Well,
You didn't want to fight. You didn't want to fight the skeletons anyway. So
Yes,
you got your goal.
I'm always hungry.
Did you make that a goal?
No, it was to prove our worthiness. I don't know if we're doing that.
We're doing the opposite.
Where did I have a camp? I thought I had a camp.
When we last time we used our super secret camp, you just had us on the ring, the stone ring.
Yeah.
There was no separate graphic for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Do you want to do the super secret camp, or do you want to stay in the cobweb camp? Because we can get to both of them.
Super secret camp. I climbed up the web
Yeah,
rope.
that is
Yeah.
a safer one to go to.
Is safer
Alright,
one,
then there you
and
go.
is I think it gives us a bonus, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
To exhaustion, I think, right?
Yeah, it's out of the wind. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
There we go.
I wrote it down somewhere.
+1 to recovery checks for exhausted and afraid. It's out of the weather.
All right.
Beautiful looking.
All right. So you guys enter camp. All right. You guys enter into camp phase. So
Somebody stub their toe so I can treat it real quick.
and
No, I won't be fresh anymore.
that's true. And you guys go back to camp. Oh, right. You go back to camp, and as you enter camp, you guys can have. You're in camp phase. So first things first. You guys need to see what our camp event is.
We find the those onks that we're looking for. For some reason, they're just laying here.
That would be awesome.
I get a +1 to camp event rolls in the wilderness. Does that count?
It sure does.
Sweet.
Roll high, Bob.
Well,
I mean, I don't know if do I roll it?
no. The first thing I have to decide is how dangerous this camp is. It's good. Are you guys gonna have a fire or no?
We don't really need a fire, do we?
Not if you're not.
I'm cooking a meal.
Well, the problem is,
A warm meal.
but the thing is, though,
Are
right,
you?
if by cooking a meal, this actually won't earn you a fate point because it's not actually helping the party because no one's hungry and thirsty. So it may be to your
Well,
benefit.
yeah, it is. It's keeping me fresh.
No,
So
but
it is helping the party.
no, because if you keep going to camp, you never have to eat for the entire game.
That was a joke. I know.
Oh, okay.
I was just being sarcastic.
I mean, I don't. What's the benefit of having the fire? It's usually doesn't it give them? They can see us more. I guess there's a
It keeps
negative?
you warm. It lets you cook food, provides light. But anything like cooking, alchemical solutions, forging, anything that would require a campfire, which is
I don't think we
Alright.
need it.
So like a cold gazpacho.
yes. And
Right,
and all
gotcha.
recovery
Beef jerky.
and all recovery tests are 1 ob higher if there's no fire. So, but you guys
We
don't
don't
have to
have
recover,
any.
so you guys are good.
All right, no
So now, does anyone want to set watch?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you have a +1 to the camp event roll because you guys found a camp. It has concealment, so it's +2. You have a ranger with you, so it's a +3. You're setting a watch, so it's a +4,
Mm-hmm.
and you're good to go. All right, Bob.
What do I roll?
I think it's 2d6 or 3d6. Let me double check. Oh, and this is a dark camp. Does that give you benefit? Oh, it reduces the danger penalty. Okay, well, you don't have any danger penalty, so you're fine. All right. Outside natural caves, ancient ruins. All right. Bob, roll
Yes.
3d6 and add 4.
Oh, pretty decent roll there, Bob.
12.
Ooh. All right.
+1.
On a +4.
Oh.
Still 16.
Yes. All right. So as you settle into your camp and have a little bit more time and you start looking around, you find one of the trees near the camp has been engraved with ancient elven runes of blessings and protections, speaking to the power of the great immortal lords. Behold, an ancient shrine carved into a weirwood tree, untouched by the ravages of time and chaos. Magicians do not need to spend a check in order to memorize spells in the presence of this shrine, and shamans and theurges do not need to spend a check to accomplish their purification rituals here.
This is just in our camp?
Nice.
Is that permanent now?
It's permanent now, yeah.
Sweet.
This is the best camp ever.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're building a pretty sweet base.
If you had rolled one higher, you would have gotten a free treasure roll.
Oh, oh, Torque.
Oh shit, it's a Torque. They stashed it here. It's their camp. Yeah, if you had rolled 2 higher, you would have gotten an artifact. Holy shit. All right, well, yeah. So yeah, your camp is not only particularly well sheltered, it also houses an ancient shrine of ancient immortal power.
I had a feeling this was the right direction when we made camp.
All right. So Ryan, obviously, you in role-playing terms, you make the best of your situation, but technically nobody has to actually eat or use a ration because nobody's going to become hungry and thirsty. GM Scott, you may make your cartographer check.
Alrighty. What is my ob, good sir?
That is a great question. I do not know. Let's see.
The only thing that we're updating is the path to town, essentially.
Correct. It's just one thing. A few days travel is 2, and you've personally surveyed the area, so it's an ob 3 to add the town.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Can remembering help?
It's an instinct. I don't know if anyone can aid me.
With a nature,
I
they
think
can.
nature is the only thing. Yeah.
Okay. So
But remember,
Elvin,
Elvin remembering is more about like remembering
this
the
isn't
ancient
my
past, just
jam.
not just remembering.
Nope.
Do you have any supplies like ink or paper or parchment or cloth or charcoal?
nothing is that's especially labeled as supplies.
Correct. Then no. Yeah, you have to have it
yeah.
on you. Yep.
I mean, I could tear up one of my scrolls.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I have
Well, the
I have
lowest
2 large
lowest
sacks.
possible cartographer ob, Jim Scott, is 2, which would be a small room, like a few rooms, and surveyed personally, which is a 1. So you had 1 + 1. So the lowest this could ever be is 2.
And I have no way of increasing that myself.
You do. You now have persona points, so you can channel your persona and add your nature to this.
Yeah, I looked at that, but I mean, what would be my nature? Boasting, maybe?
Nope,
Yeah.
you would be
I finally got this.
You would be acting outside of your nature.
Okay.
So you're channeling your nature against your nature. So that means that if you fail the check, your nature will be penalized.
Okay.
So you're putting your nature at risk by using it for what it was not intended. You're using it for adventure shit, not for human shit.
Okay. I got you. Not against my nature. I'm going outside of my nature.
You're going outside of your nature against your. I mean, it's the same basic difference.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
Okay. Plus, you get to spend a persona point. So.
Right. Okay. So, trait, no trait. Persona spent. There we go. And so now I have 4 dice versus ob 3.
Yeah, so
That was
here's
only
no.
4
So
dice.
here's what you want to do. So you're not spending a persona. That just gives you a 1 dice per persona spent. You could do that if you want to, but I don't recommend it.
Oh.
So what I would do is I would turn that to a 0.
Okay.
And then so your current persona is 2. So I would reduce that to 1. and I would take your total spent up to 2, right there on the sheet. No, you can do it right there on the roll sheet. Right there in the big persona section.
Right there. Okay.
Yep. You can do it right there, just so you can track it more effectively.
Got
and
it.
then what you're going to do, GM Scott, is you're going to make sure you increase that total spend so you get credit for it. There you go. Then you're going to click the Channel Nature button because you're channeling your nature.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Now, you have a nature of 4, so this is going to have 4 dice, but it's not within your nature. It is outside your nature. So change it from within to outside. And there you go. Now you're rolling 7 dice.
7 dice.
You also could use a trait.
I was thinking of using my I don't know if I want to use my thoughtful or my wizard sight here.
I think thoughtful's probably more appropriate because
I almost kind of want to use it against myself because I do have 7 on 3 now.
Yeah, but you know how these things go. So
that's true. That's true.
It's up to you.
Right.
It's up to you.
Can you even earn checks in camp?
You cannot earn checks.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All right.
There you go. All right, so there you go. 8 dice versus Ob 3.
All right. Let's hope for the best, guys.
Fingers crossed.
Tane studies his.
Hey, there you go.
Oh my god. It's a good thing it takes 8 dice to get 3.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, 8 dice on average should be 4.
It should, yeah.
So, I mean, it is.
And that 3 is a high roll for me. So.
Well, but you get to mark a pass for cartographer,
which means it goes up to 4 finally.
And your cartographer goes up to 4. All right.
That was my last success that I needed.
Sick. All right. So finally, this gives you the thing you necessarily cartographer 4 is big game. I mean, that's a nice skill. And more importantly, you detail the journey from the Circle of Caravanal back to the small remote village of Fairhill. So now you can traverse that without a check. So now you guys can go back to town. As long as you're on your map, you can go back to town for basically for free.
Nice.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right.
So
And please, Jim.
go ahead.
No,
I was going to say I bump up I can't do this on this page, the roller page.
No, you got to go back to your main.
Yeah,
you go back to your main page. Then you want to go ahead and go to the edit and then take it to 4 and then reset.
And then clear everything.
And then as a party, you have 1 check, which is Bob's check. So anybody can use it.
Who needs it?
Uh,
Couple of you are what? Just hungry and thirsty? No, you guys are fresh. So no one needs it for anything major? Does anybody want to do any
If someone wants to do a scavenge or something.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
Yeah,
I
that
could
might
go,
not be bad, but
Well, do you guys have room for stuff?
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think so.
Well, depending on what we find will depend on if we have room for it or not.
No.
What a
the check was there. It had good value in that you were at the watch if we needed to use it to avoid an issue. That would have been good. But what can we do? I mean, my fear is if one of the things we try to do was to keep or retain Herbers and my fresh condition, us doing a check and potentially losing that in the as an outcome is
that is very possible. Yes.
Now, do you lose we lose this check now that we're at camp?
Yep. It'll go.
Use
Use it or lose it.
Well, I'm just gonna say I have 2 skills that are about to level up.
There's a good way to use checks.
But hunt, if I pass, I could scout. I need to fail. Just suggestions.
I can scavenge, and that's like that specialty skill that we get. So scavenger is like my specialty skill, so I'd get a bonus on that. But again, I might lose a fresh.
Yeah, I don't think you or Sadak should be doing anything.
I'm just gonna sit here and eat
Relax, Sadak. Amos, Tane, anything? Thoughts?
I mean, I need to fail a manipulator or pass a scholar, but we'll save that for another time.
Okay.
Yeah, no, do your thing.
All right. Well, you guys want hunt or scout? I think scout's probably the better one.
When are you going to go scout?
Scouting might not be bad. Yeah, go look for the.
Go look around the area.
All right. Now remember, because camp is not for adventuring, just to be clear. So
No, I know. We found a new shrine.
See if you can find any more benefits for our camp that we didn't realize.
Find that artifact
to help. So
yeah,
we know it's there.
So no matter what we need to do next, our answers are in the dungeon. Either we get the torques,
yes,
or in the dungeon. The harp, it's in the dungeon. Is there anything you can do from our super secret camp scouting ahead to kind of help us maybe determine where maybe one of those, like, I mean, it's so deep in the dungeon, I don't know how you can't go too far, but
How
Not
about
that I could
how
think
about a
of.
back entrance, a second entrance in other than the well?
I thought we did that the first time we showed up to the top of the cave entrance. We looked around and we couldn't.
I know we
find
looked
anything.
around that hill though.
Yeah, we were able to
yeah.
find this area to like make a safe camp. But I thought correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we had looked.
Because
you looked around, you did look around at the circle of Carvanal, yes. For a
But
There
now
could be
let's look
somewhere. We're in
around.
the woods now, not the circle. So I mean, there could be
We're-
something here, or we could have just failed really bad. I don't remember.
We're in the woods and we found this ancient shrine. Perhaps there's, more to this shrine or more in the area.
If there's nothing to scout, Derek, or you can't see a feasible thing, then I'll just go hunting.
No.
Okay.
You tell me what you're looking for.
I just, well, now that I've seen this shrine, it makes me think that this area in general seems to be more important than just a typical safe spot that we camped at. Maybe we got lucky. Maybe the gods told us we should have came here.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm here, I feel like there's more significance to our camp than there really is. And now I'm wondering if I look behind the tree and under the brush and and go maybe a little further out, maybe around the rock formations that I see. Maybe there's something more significant in this area.
Okay. Now the way that
If you see a 10-foot pole, pick it up for me.
Now the way that scout works is the base ob is depending on what the size of the thing that you're looking for. So so something like a cave mouth or a house is ob 1.
What about
and a needle is ob 4.
Oh god.
Then you add the location of the target. If it's known, you add 1. If it's roughly known, you add 2. And if you're guessing, you add 3.
So we're definitely guessing.
You were definitely guessing. Well, no,
I feel like this...
you roughly know. You're looking around the shrine.
Okay.
Right.
So it's in the middle.
Yes, right, too. And so what are you looking for
I'm not really looking for a needle in the haystack.
Okay.
I guess I'm looking for more. I mean, if this is a shrine, maybe this is a place where people had brought
I got you.
Stuff to look for, to not sacrifice, but donate,
all right, Bob.
tribute.
Scout ob 5.
Scout ob 5.
Scout ob 5.
All right. Am I doing this by myself, group?
You can help him, but remember, if you help and he fails, you are bound by the same conditions of his failure as he is.
Didn't you want to fail?
I do want to fail. Shit, you're right. All right. But I got 4.
Don't help me, guys.
I thought he was being very clever by picking a really high ob for his skill that he wanted to fail. It turns out Bob was completely unaware of what he was doing, and yet was somehow doing the right thing anyways.
But then as you started describing it, it sounded more and more enticing that I wanted to find something cool. So anyway, I have 4 dice versus 5 ob.
You have
by accident
4 dice versus 5 ob, which means you basically cannot succeed.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of is adding my loner trait, but I don't really feel like
not if you want to fail.
I know that's kind of what I'm going for here. So we're just gonna go for it. You see Carlos wander off, maybe guided, misguided, as he looks around. Oh.
I say this would be the time where you actually roll 4 successes.
Yes, absolutely.
Stop wasting them.
I have failed. My scout goes up to 5.
Your scout goes up to 5, and you are going to succeed, Bob. So you fail, but that you do. I'm going to give you success with a condition. So Bob, you are just. You're like, there could be something free here, and you can't let it go. So you spend the entire. You just keep looking and looking and looking and looking, Bob. And you become hungry and thirsty.
Okay, checks out.
However,
because you were out scouting,
if there was only some food at camp.
As you are digging around through this ancient immortal shrine, you stumble across a strange glittering object half buried in the soil beneath the roots of an ancient tree. Looking at it closer, it appears to be some sort of crown.
A crown?
Yes.
Well, you got to put it on right now.
Elven crown?
It's difficult to see from here, but it definitely
I for sure go over to it.
Yes, as you get closer to it, yes, Bob. It does have the elven look and nature to it. It is in surprisingly good shape for being stuck in the ground. It is roughly the size of a humanoid or elven head. It has 5 points around its top, and each point is capped with a small diamond gemstone.
Oh my
And there
gosh.
is ancient silver filigree carved into it, forming strange patterns and ancient runes upon the crown's surface.
Now, logically, I would put this in my bag. However, I have no room, so obnoxiously, I have to put this on my head.
Yes.
yes, you do.
He comes back to town.
Amazing.
I
He never comes back.
I
is
hope
what it
that
is.
crown is not sealing an ancient evil.
So
Not
when I find
anymore. Not anymore. Has a
Bob
conduit
walks
now.
off. He's like, never comes back to the party. We're like, where'd he go? And he's
Yes.
outside somewhere getting
Yeah, he
Comes
gets
back
some
as
brothel or
Sauron.
something.
yeah, he gets whatchamacallit, it's like Dr. Fate. Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah. DC Comics.
Yeah. All right. So, Bob, you return with this ancient glittering crown. And as you kind of enter into camp, Amos,
Pompous ass.
you
gosh.
are stunned at what you see atop his head.
You wouldn't believe the stuff I found out here.
For that is
It's
a
a Burger King
crown.
crown.
That is a crown of the Lords of Law, an ancient relic dedicated to the powerful immortal lords of law and order, who keep demonkind and the spirit world at bay.
Oh, well, would you look at that?
Boothby, this is a
So you're fighting the
This is a
demon.
relic.
this is a relic
Right.
for
This is a Theurge spell aid.
yes, this is a relic for the level 2 invocation, which is called something the Lords of Law. Wrath of the Lords of Law. It's on page 223. The Lords of Law do not countenance spirits from beyond the shroud of worlds who would meddle in the world of flesh. Demons and spirits fall back before your wrath. This invocation causes any spirit or demon who can see the Theurge to flee from their presence. They must have a place to flee from. If backed into a corner, they attack violently. This only affects spirits, demons, and celestial creatures.
Hey, let's go visit that spirit again in that dragon mouth.
So does it look good on me, or
I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, you're not.
You pimping it, dude.
Where did you get that?
just found it? It's just lying on the side of the road.
You found it beneath an ancient elven tree as part of an ancient elven shrine.
Old adventurer must have thrown it off on the side of the road.
They didn't
Just
want it
picked up.
anymore, and they just died. You know, it's just
Like, fall to my knees. The crown of the Lords of Law.
Now
You
it-
know this.
I don't understand.
now, while it is a powerful relic, it is also very valuable. It is worth 8 dice of treasure.
Wow.
8 dice, or our heads getting ripped off by a demon. I gotta go with the crown on that one.
So there you go. Tough choice to be made either way, I'm afraid.
Well, either
Now-
way, we can't go back to town because we'll get hungry again because we haven't really explored anything because these
Yeah.
stupid necklaces. So
Now the Theurge gets a benefit from wearing it. Is that what you're
I get
kinda...
it would aid me in casting that spell that makes demons and spirits flee my presence.
Gotcha.
Do you know that spell?
yeah,
I know every spell. I could cast it without it.
Oh, so okay.
I am
So it's-
significantly less likely to explode if I'm wearing it.
Yeah, the band helps hold your head together.
It also reduces the casting time.
Right.
Oh,
It goes from 1 turn, it makes it 0 turns and only 2 burden. So, yeah, that is.
So
I'll log up. I know Elf, it looks pretty on you, but I think it's going to help out our Theurge buddy over there better.
I mean, it fits really good.
I know, but you're a ranger. If you can't, you got to duck more to crawl under the brush. It's going to get caught.
Yeah,
Kinda
it doesn't
shine in the
seem to
light.
be stealthy.
No, not at all.
I'm not the most fanciful of elves anyway.
There we go. The crown of the Lords of Law.
nice.
Amos, could you
Fancy.
keep
Yeah,
it safe? We have
It
Roan.
shall be
is-
kept safe.
Keep it secret.
Can't
Keep
be
it
kept
safe.
safe.
It is a sacred relic. It,
It
shall be
can't be
kept-
kept safe.
it will be kept safe.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it can't be kept safe. I was like, oh great, this thing is doom.
Well, yeah.
Well, for good or bad, I've
The
grown to like some
gods,
of you.
the gods shine upon us in our mission. with this fine.
They do.
All right, there you go.
Let it let it glow bright the next time you cast a spell.
It feels like we do have some favor our group. It's
Yeah,
not
well,
all
the
one-sided.
Now I kind of want to wait.
So there seems to be a force guiding us.
I place it onto Amos's head and bow down on my knee.
Yeah, it should.
The elf is bowing to a human.
It should be unlocked. There you go.
Yeah, I moved.
Nick, should that go against his nature right there?
I
An
am
elf
but a
bowing to a
humble-
human.
You're a
representative of the
humble
gods.
peasant. Such a humble peasant.
Yeah, you're bowing to a peasant.
He's all
this peasant has saved my life more times than I can count.
he's all blinged out with.
He's got way better than any dwarf.
He has
I know.
he has the amulet of the
Don't go
eye of the
bite
burning
yourself.
lord, the ruby of the lord of fire, the crown of the lords of law.
And Amos shows up every session.
And he's
I've got a hand mirror.
we just gave the role player of the year a crown.
Three artifacts.
Man, you see this? He reminds me of those the guild members, like the fat guys walking through town with the fancy garb and like they all the fancy rings and everything.
What are you
like
talking
that.
about? He's one of the people. He's a commoner,
I am
just
I am
like
the
you.
Right.
Peasant.
Right.
He just changed his dirty jobs thing this session.
Just
Now
like
clean.
J-Lo.
He's like that
She's
belief.
just Jenny from the block.
Yeah, that belief or that instinct wasn't serving me well. Things have changed for the year. He's on the up and up.
Man, if that's what the people look like, I want to be the people.
Well, you guys are done with camp and you're done with checks.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave camp phase and now you guys are going back into the adventuring phase.
Yes.
So you guys are back, presumably at the circle, but
Yes.
everything's on your map. So you guys can kind of tell me where you want to head.
Yeah,
So
we need to pick
I
a
think we
location.
Yeah, I think we should travel deeper in.
Yeah. Do we
We
want
want
to
to find something new.
look for the statue rooms? Do we
Yeah.
want to go off the skeleton room?
Do we want to try and track those other jokers down that have the torques?
That's not a bad idea.
That is the thing that is on the clock.
I mean,
Derek, did you ever answer Matt's question as to whether or not we could track them through the dungeon?
Oh, yeah, of course you can.
Well,
Okay. Well,
let's go sniff out Vess and what was it, Nickerby?
Yeah, Vest and
Nickerby.
Nickerby.
All right.
Well, not
Smell a
only
hunt.
not only that, but I think there's a rule about your nemesis.
Oh, excellent. Brian, is that your enemy as well? Is like actual enemy or?
Enemy twin brother. Yep.
Okay, good. That's what mine is too.
Is this the character creation book? Yes.
I mean, we know they were in that room, and they were in that room.
I don't want
not
to
too long ago.
I don't want to hurt them. I just want to get the torques.
Yep.
And there's only one though with those skeletons, right?
There's 4.
They
four
each
of
had
them.
one.
They each had
They
one.
each had, because I thought we had only saw one on them.
I think
I
we
had
only,
thought so too, but
yeah, we only had seen the one, but now we know.
Well, I mean, and if this is a guard tower or guard room, I mean there should be better stuff deeper what they're guarding. So there's got to be other stuff deeper in.
They're
Yeah,
guarding
tunnel
this
better.
demon.
Yeah, they were there as wards.
Nah.
I just found
here we
out
go.
an artifact crown. Is not good enough for you?
Yes.
No, I want the harp.
Okay. Well, here's this.
We do need this harp.
So here's the problem. When facing an enemy in a drive-off, convince crowd, the enemy gets +3 successes to their disposition roll.
Oh my gosh.
If they're
So
our nemesis,
yes, when facing an enemy, so the enemy gets
That
that.
stack?
I guess I don't know.
Because there's two of them in the
Well,
party.
it's whoever's making the disposition roll. So
Oh,
you know,
okay.
you would obviously want one of you guys to make the disposition roll. Is all I'm saying. You know, you guys. But it'll be
Well,
kind of.
I mean, do we-
But it'll be kind of canceled because they'd get it too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Any case. Okay.
Yeah.
So where you guys heading?
What are you thinking, Jim Scott? Where's we're on that map. Do you want to start back at the skeleton room and work our way, or we want to?
I have no idea where they would be, but
Neither do I until we start making rolls.
Yeah, so I mean, we at least have to go back to the skeleton room and try and pick up a trail.
But the thing is,
The guard room.
they would have done this weeks ago, like in terms of real time, like right behind us, you know. So then we got like, yeah, where did we go? We got lost in the caves or lost in the dungeon.
No, technically we're actually in front of them.
Well, now we
a day
are,
or
but
so.
they were here
Yeah.
right after we
Yeah,
fell
not
down.
anymore. Yeah.
I think we're thinking too hard about this.
All right.
Skeletons are gone. Where do we need to go?
All right. Start looking around for some feet prints, I guess.
Can I try a
Oh,
dungeoneering?
shit, no, some of those
or
are ours.
or scouting?
Yeah, it's gonna probably be scout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trailing targets and finding hidden things is scout.
What's your scout there, Mister Elf?
5.
5? Yeah, go for it. I can help.
Well, is there any
You're better than
new? Are those
Well-
halls a new area or no? Technically, because we ran through them without looking.
You've been there before, but there was no mapping occurring because you were running for your life. That was where
I'm
you
just
know
wondering, does my instinct trigger when we get in that room?
which room.
If we go to like the hall.
Statues. The hall of statues.
Oh, the hall of statues, yes, but like the generic endless roaming hallways. What's your instinct?
My instinct is to always look ahead when exploring a new area.
Yeah, that would be a new area.
Okay.
And then would my instinct trigger with always search for traps in doorways?
Yeah, I mean, if you're
because you said you would never make me roll unless there was something there to spot, kind of thing.
Correct.
Okay.
But
So
does
let's
it
head.
still count?
Well, so
Okay.
do you guys want me to scout footprints?
Well,
even though
wait.
we've
What do you mean
ran
by does
through
it
here?
still count? I mean, if it doesn't help you, then no, it doesn't help you.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So if you don't stick a trap there the rest of the game,
Correct.
that instinct's sort of boned. me.
Correct.
Is that
Correct.
mechanically? Is that like kind of the best way to do it? Is to go into those rooms, not the web-filled rooms, but the other hallways, and have you trigger your
Well, I'm just trying
instinct,
to
and then
think
that would
of
be
triggering it.
a chance of a free, almost hopefully a free check to look for footprints, foot traffic in that direction.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
know if
Well, no,
Jared would
his
give me that,
his
but
instinct is to look for danger.
yeah,
danger.
it's,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
so it
it's
wouldn't
not
be
the
looking
same
for
thing.
footsteps.
But we could.
There's nothing more dangerous than his nemesis.
True.
I mean, that actually is probably true, but
So Derek, you said from this skeleton guard room.
Yes.
There's the well shaft up.
Yep.
There's the.
You can think of it if this was a room in a dungeon. There's a shaft in the center of the ceiling. There's an
Yep.
entrance to the left, which leads to the web-filled hallways, and then there's an entrance to the right, which leads to the empty, endless hallways.
All right. And there's no other.
There's no other,
Okay.
from a point crawl
Alright.
perspective. I mean, there might be some adjoining weird rooms, or if somebody wanted to camp, we might, quantumly make something appear. But in terms of its location-wise, no. This is just an ancient tomb complex.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess we just need to explore the places we haven't been to see if they're
so
there.
do you want to start heading towards that statuette room then?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, the
we
full
wanna go-
statue room. Yeah.
The statue room. That what one is that off of again? I don't have that map in front of me.
The twisting empty hallways.
All right, that's where we're going.
Okay, cool. All right, well, you guys move into the twisting hallways and attempting to make your way back towards the statue.
Trying to get to the statuette room at least to start maybe making some ideas there.
Yep.
We were here before.
Yes, you ran through here
Yep.
when you were in your flight from the
Yep.
the thing, and then you guys took a bad turn, and then this ended up leading you to the web-filled hallways. But,
Correct.
yeah, but now you're here deliberately. So,
Yes.
with torch held high, you make your way from the ancient tomb into the long arched hallways that sort of occupy this central section of the hallway. Geographically, or the hallways are similar to the ones filled with webs, but noticeably less webby, suggesting perhaps the lack or absence of something nasty. Meanwhile, you make your way down the hallways, trying to remember your steps from so long ago when you were running from your life from the skeletons, which were chasing you through the hallways. The torch flickers left and right, and you are attempting to retrace your steps. This is a Dungeoneer check.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Herber.
Can I get anybody got any help?
I'm looking.
No, I can't.
He's like, no.
I have been
What's the
dungeoneering
op?
before, but yeah.
Great question. So Dungeoneer can be helped.
Survivalist sapper.
Sapper and survivalist, yes.
I mean, I do have survivalist.
I
This is
give
going to
you a
be-
dice.
This is going to be Ob 2.
What's your dungeoneering?
I got a 4. No, I got a Yeah, I got a 4, but my problem is I have -1 because I have the backpack.
You do get another plus. You get the fresh condition, right? So
Yeah, that auto's on, so that's why I have the 4.
that's why you have the 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, seeing as we've been here before, we start to it's weird that this is like survivalist as a check versus like scout, because I feel like I'd be
you remember I'm always allowed to add one.
Well, knowing
one skill.
how
So you should describe what you want to do
Yeah.
in the fiction and leave that up to me.
I would like to, as he's trying to look around me for the best path, I follow the walls, trying to remember where we've been, where we came from. I know where we came from, and I was running this way. I know I got lost to the left here, and then I know, but then I don't remember where I went from here. So maybe we should go over this way. I'm thinking more of a scout, but that's sort of what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
You guys have been here before, and you've found this location before, so you're looking for visual clues. So yes, you can. I'm
trying to eliminate the number of questions that he has. So I go a little bit on this side, he's looking a little bit on that side.
Yeah, so you can help with scout.
I mean, and if you think about it, we're probably the only ones that have been here other than the other party for a long time. So all the dust, there should be only one-ish set of footprints.
They might have not. Who knows what they came and went.
Yep. So it might be easier.
So yes, you can help with scout.
Awesome. So that's one help for you.
Perfect. Anybody else got something, or is that it? So it's op 2. I got 4 dice. Here we go.
Come on, baby.
2. Sweet.
Nice.
All right. So go ahead and mark a pass on your Dungeoneer check as well.
Sure.
So a turn passes, and you guys spend a chunk of time making your way through the darkness of the dungeon, lit by the flickering lights, guided by the eyes of Karanalos and the sort of intuitive nature of Erber, who uses his sense of the dungeon in order to sort of gauge where you're going. Meanwhile, Tane takes notes to later translate into a map. And
the most important part.
Yes. And after some period of time, 15, 20 minutes pass, you make your way around several left turns and right turns, and finally, as you round a corner, you see stretching out before you a somewhat familiar sight. A large doorway leads to an ancient hall lined with columns and broken statues, at the far end of which is an ancient door. Bob, as you enter this area, your instinct triggers.
Excellent.
And this was off of the empty hallways, right?
Yeah.
Is there an op for this?
There is, Bob, but I'm going to say it's 3.
Okay.
Can I help him with delving?
Nope.
Nature?
Isn't nature? When it's an instinct?
You can help with nature if it applies. Yeah. Erber, totally.
Sweet.
Because in this particular instance, that does actually help.
Awesome. Well, we were going side by side here, Erber, and we'll see what happens. Terrible.
Wow,
look at
a lot of 3s.
Awful.
You probably couldn't spend a persona on an of course, right?
Unless he has a wise that's relevant. No. All right,
No.
Bob. You are going to succeed. However, Bob, you are made angry.
I mean, I was after that roll.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what the fuck is with these dice? It's totally a meta. It's totally a meta anger. Okay, so as you enter into this ancient sort of this ancient supported hall with the paired alcoves, the pieces of stone rubble filling out, apparently having broken off of the ancient statues here. Now, I should note that the statues are larger than human size, but while they do depict humanoid figures, their hands are sort of upraised as if like virtually supporting the roof.
Would these humanoids be in this elf dungeon?
But time has sort of eroded away. But looking at them, you can see that they have vague suggestions that these humans are being transformed into something, and the imagery of scales and claws is apparent on their forms.
Lizard people.
However, Bob, as you
Dragon
look,
kin.
you note that maybe you briefly sense a brief slight change of air pressure, and your elven senses are so finely tuned that you spot the thin outline visible through the dust and debris of centuries of a secret door behind one of the statues.
Ooh.
Dum dum dum.
And as you look, you can see that it appears like that you should be able to get behind the statue and potentially access the secret door. Now, how to open it, you're not sure, but you do spot it.
Hammer.
Leave it to a dwarf to think like that.
Nah, it's probably weak anyways. You know, these elven temples never built structurally sound.
Well, the concerning nature of these statues leads me to. Well, so so there's the big door still in front of us, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we haven't examined that. I don't know if Amos, you want to take a look at that.
It appears to be a door.
Oh, and giant door. I mean, again, I'm going off 16-bit imagery here of non-realistic things. But is this door's at the end of this hall?
Yes.
Seems significant, Amos.
Well, isn't that secret door significant too?
I mean, that is very
Secrets are there for a reason.
Yeah, I was. Tane says he was studying this ancient text about a temple one time where the entrance was right in front of them, but the secret entrance was off to the side where you had to gather 3 gems and collect them, and that opened a secret passage in. So perhaps there is a alternate way into this as well.
Okay. I guess I will look behind this statue and to see if this door has the secret door that I can tell that it's not exactly aligned, right?
Right.
But maybe I'm searching for maybe a handle or something.
Yeah.
Or, Erber, I hope you're assisting me here to make sure I don't get zapped by something.
Yeah, traps. If there's a trap.
No roll necessary. You described it pretty well.
Yep.
As you look behind the statue, actually on the plinth of the statue itself, you can see that there is a small button or toggle or switch.
Push the button.
Before I push this button,
Yeah.
is everyone okay with me pushing this button?
You're the party leader, man.
Push it.
Call.
All right, Bob, as you push the button, the switch is trapped with a poison needle.
I knew it.
So since it wasn't a door we went through, the trap my instinct didn't kick off.
That is correct. That
really
is
want
correct.
Erber here for this reason.
That is correct. Bob, this counts as a turn. Bob, I'm forcing you to make a scout check in order to sort of see this thing at the last minute and jerk your hand back and avoid getting poisoned to death.
Okay. What's the ob?
To death? Ouch.
Well, I mean, technically.
I know.
The ob is 2, Bob.
I feel like I should use my calm against me as I freak out.
Yeah, you could do that. You were being very deliberate and methodical.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so against you. So 4 versus 2. Playing the odds here.
Yep.
We hear Bob scream like a girl as soon as he sees the
And no one reacts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
All right, Bob. All right,
Mark
Bob.
that success.
Mark that success. All right. At the last second, Bob, you see the needle deploying and you jerk your hand back. You also earn a check from your
I got that. Woohoo.
And also don't forget to mark your angry condition if you didn't.
I have it marked. I don't know why.
Okay. Maybe it just hasn't updated. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It just wasn't updating on the OBS.
Cool.
Okay, so you jerk your hand back. The switch depresses. The wall segment probably about the same size as a human, roughly. So it's kind of a narrow door, right? Sinks into the wall. You can see dirt and kind of debris kind of falling down from where the blocks break apart, and there's sort of all that gunk and stuff that between the walls and the bricks and the mortar kind of sinks into the wall, and then it like swings inward, revealing a chamber beyond.
The harp.
So there you go.
Someone else can walk in. I have to walk in first. Shit. I was like, I just got a dart thrown at me, but I have to go in first. It's my instinct.
Okay.
They're creepy looking.
Ooh, fancy.
All right. Inside is a room, your torchlight flickering barely to keep it alight. Actually, as Bob does that, your torch goes out. I forgot.
That's right. I was like, it did cost me a turn to dodge that.
So I'm assuming we're going to light another one.
Done.
Sadak.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
How many torches do we have, by the way?
I have 5 on me.
I have 5 plus my lit.
Okay.
All right.
We're good for a minute.
It gets dark for a few moments while Sadak gets another torch ready, but you have a tinderbox, so it's not an issue. And then when the light refills the room, you see through the right now you're outside of it. You know, you're at the outside of the secret door. Inside, you see a small, squat stone chamber with blocks of stone of all types and sizes sitting under a patina of undisturbed dust. But many of them, most of them, show evidence of a sculptor's chisel. Rough heads, arms, faces, and other forms are half freed from blocks of living stone. And besides these unfinished sculptures, there is a stone workbench against the far wall. Sitting upon it are many stoneworking implements like hammers and chisels laying visible upon the bench.
Guys, before we do anything, I just have to remind us that something told us above, when the stone is like the sky, beware the living stone. There's a lot of stone around here that might be living, so let's just pay attention.
Well, first thing I have to do is I have to look and explore this area.
Look up at the ceiling, yeah.
Before you do that, let me search the door to see if there's another trap.
Unfortunately, your instinct is to always check the doors for traps. So, Herber, you don't have to remind me. Although if I do forget, you can tell me.
I was just being sarcastic.
No, that's fine.
He pushed the button.
But I'm not going to make you do a scout check if there isn't one. So that's the way that works.
You.
So Herber very carefully, cautiously expands the door. No scout check is made, so you're confident there. And then Bob, you enter in immediately with your instinct and begin looking around rapidly. So Bob, make another scout check. And this is for free. Make Ob 3.
Okay. Ah, dang, close. No cigar.
Do you have any things you can use?
Spend
Hero
1
point?
persona point to add 1.
That's before you roll.
You may
Would
spend 3. So no, I don't think so.
Could I use delving to help him or no?
No, it's already
No.
I think the roll's already done. Yeah.
Also, this is
it. Okay.
This is
and it was an instinct.
this is also
Nope, we're good.
This is also scouting. So
Okay, gotcha.
We're good.
all right. Well, so I have a choice. I could give Bob success, or I could twist,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to twist.
Okay. I was like, I don't need any more conditions.
Now, normally in this situation, in a twist, I can decide what I want to have happen, and you guys don't get any input. However, Tane, the untrusting, was very adamant in his remembering of the warnings above. And so, as you enter into this chamber, and you'll have to pardon me because I didn't actually think that you guys were going to
Survive this long.
make it here. You guys have kind of gotten ahead of the prep a little bit.
Hey, we're the ones that fell down the well. Anybody, we're going to go anywhere and everywhere you don't want us to.
Wherever you expect us not to go.
As you enter into the room, GM Scott, you notice a sudden glimmering of blue energy gathering around one of the half-finished statues.
Yep.
There's
At
that
the
thing.
door, walk away.
And then, Karnos entered the room. That's his instinct.
The door, walk away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm shutting the door, walking away. Stupid fucking elves.
And
I'm out.
as you enter into the chamber, you see that one of the mostly finished statues, but still very blocky and showing signs of needing to be finished, comes to life as the blue energy swirls around it and sort of flows into its eyes, which begin glowing with a blue azure radiance as the massive hulking statue stands up from its carving post and begins menacingly stalking in on Karanalas. Now, normally, in a twist, I could say, and you're in a conflict, and we're doing this thing. But because you had that awareness, Tane, you guys have the initiative here. So you guys can decide what you want to do. Do you want to flee? Do you want to fight? Do you want to, I don't know what you want to do. It's up to you guys.
Can we do a negotiation tea party with them?
What else is there other doors or exits in this room?
No, this room does seem to be, this is it. This is the only entrance.
Okay, well then I think we should.
And right now the creature is between Karanelos and the door.
Nice.
We're scenario.
Quick look at the ceiling in here.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing when I noticed this thing come up. Is there anything unusual about it? Is it just the stone arches pictured? Or?
Yeah, just the stone arches is pictured, nothing super special or notable. You'll see that there may have once been some cracked ancient globes that may have once been like some sort of like magical crystal light domes, but they are now darkened with the passing of centuries. But yes, this thing has come to life. However,
and you said it was a blue mist?
Yeah, well, not the blue mist, just like an azure glow that sort of surrounded it, almost like a magical energy, yeah.
Is that anywhere else in this place?
Is that anywhere else in this place?
Same glow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for the off button.
Well,
There's gotta be
remember,
some just like random off switch.
Just to be clear here, if you're looking, then the fiction dictates that this thing's going to smash Karanelos. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You guys don't have it's not like waiting for you guys. It's just that you guys get to decide how you're going to act. Now you can act however you want, and I will react appropriately. That being said, GM Scott, yes, you very briefly see as the azure glow glows, you see a brief sort of shimmering blue energy on the side of the workbench, not the top, but like the side, like where the apron is.
Okay. All right.
Of the table. But now the creature has come to its full height and it is stalking down on Karanelos. What are you guys doing?
Karanelos, it's an elven guardian.
Drive off
Yeah,
and run.
Talk it down.
Talk it down.
Yeah, it's your thing. Come on.
So
It's your people.
So you guys are thinking convince? I don't know
Yeah,
if we convince a stone golem.
Elves made it. It's not that sturdy. I mean, come on.
It's focused on Karanelos, right?
Yes.
I mean, it is
because get out of the way.
Karanelos is in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I assume you guys were. I mean, Erber was obviously close by because he was looking at the door. GM Scott, you noticed all this, so I'm assuming you're a little bit closer by. And I would assume Sadok and Amos are kind of maybe still back by the statue, outside of the secret door, probably even back still in the statuary hall. But yeah, this thing is hulking and menacing and definitely moving in on Karanelos. So I'll let you guys decide.
Yeah, I was like, maybe you could elf sing it away.
Karanelos, don't let it hit you.
Convince thing.
I need to know what you're doing, Bob.
I mean, that's great craftsmanship.
The first thing I would do physically would be to try to get out of this thing's way. So if there's room to dodge, duck, dive, or to dodge.
Dive and dodge.
So you want to dive, dip, dodge, dive, or whatever it is.
I don't think I'm going to take this thing on. So my idea is to get away from it.
All right. So Karanelos, we're going to say you're going to try to leap through the creature's legs and roll out the other side.
There's enough room. That's where I'd like to go. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, in that case, make a health check.
Okay.
This is going to be a versus health check. It's going to be opposed by the golem's nature.
Okay.
As you attempt to, dip, dive,
the magical
What's
golem.
the
Can't be
golem's
that natural.
Yeah, what's the golem's nature? To crush the person in the room that's not the person that made it.
Its nature traits are guarding, smashing,
Yeah, there you go.
and avenging. So you can appreciate that. But yes, it is literally guarding and smashing. Those are its two first natures.
Nice.
Okay. Also, its gigantic fists count as maces. Anyways, so Bob, bring up you got your nature, or you get your health check up.
Yep.
So it's a versus test.
Yep.
And it's going to be versus 5 dice.
Oh boy.
Oof.
4 versus 5.
Yep.
All right. Heart of the cards.
Yep.
Can I help him with a knowledge check?
You could have, but he rolled.
Wait, is it any of these my 6s? Oh, sweet.
You got 1 6, Bob.
Let's go for it.
You could spend a fate. You have a 50-50 chance of rolling a 6, or 50-50 chance of rolling a 4, 5, or 6. And if you do, you will succeed. Otherwise, it's a failure.
Okay, so is that called luck?
That is called luck. You click on luck. It'll give you an option to spend your fate point.
Yep.
And then also an option of how many 6s did you roll. In your case, you rolled 1.
Yeah, cool.
Hey!
Go!
All right. So this thing, Bob tries to leap forward. The creature brings down its massive fist. Bob, you have to roll off to the side. I'm not giving you success. You do get to mark a failure for that, for your health.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm going to twist you, Bob, into a kill conflict.
Fuck.
You're gonna
Good
twist
luck.
Bob.
Yeah, good luck.
Close the door, walk away.
Put that Popeye's kid like just deucing out.
Now, again, normally I would give you guys the better chance of the doubt, but you know, in this case, it's a twist, and it is trying to smash you, and it is trying to kill you. Its attempts, its natures are guarding, smashing, and avenging. So yeah, it's going to try to smash you to pieces. So
is it big enough to fit through the door?
You're not sure.
Said it was a narrow door.
Yeah, it's pretty narrow. It might have a hard
So
time.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Why is it a twist if Bob was able to make it a success with the fate point?
Oh, Bob got a success.
Yeah.
Oh,
tied.
Oh! I saw 1, and I thought he rolled a 1.
No, I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4.
Okay, don't mark a failure. Mark a pass.
Oh.
And you get out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry.
Role player.
Yeah, that's totally my that's totally my fault.
I was like, this just sucks.
No.
I thought it was like something special, like even, but I'm just gonna be a dick.
No. I thought Bob rolled a 1 on his reroll.
Okay.
So I didn't.
See, that's why you need your 3D dice on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I take it back. It does. You know what, Tane? You found yourself a little too close. You got. So you, Bob, make a running leap and jump through the. I don't even know where I put that fucking.
Dip. Was it dodge, dip, duck, dive?
Yeah.
You just say dodge twice.
I know you say dodge twice, but there's some words in the middle.
There it is. You take a running leap and jump through behind you, and as you leap through, Erber pushes the button, and the door, secret door closes behind you.
We'll never know if Erber was doing that after I was
right.
or he was just doing it anyway.
Well, he wasn't listening to me at the beginning. I'm like, I can know how to stop this. You're like, nah, fuck it, I'm out. I'm like,
Why
screw
did
it.
you try singing at it?
Oh, I got some singing for you.
Need a change of pants after that one?
Yes.
All right. Well,
I saw that thing in there, but it was huge.
So, whatever it is not breaking down the secret door or something like that. So it does seem to be content to stay behind the secret door.
There's got to be something in there worth getting.
Yeah. So the question is, you saw that blue light from the side of the workbench.
I assume that's the rune that controls it.
Is anyone sneaky enough to go in there and get it without the golem seeing them?
I don't know if the golem.
Well, the good news is
through normal means.
The good news is the way you scout or the way you sneak is you make a scout check, and it's versus the creature's nature.
Which is what he just did.
And now, normally, a creature, if it's forced, it will only do things that are within its nature. If it's forced to do things outside of its nature, it rolls half its dice. However, since one of its natures is guarding, it would definitely roll all 5 dice. So in this case, it would be Bob's sneaking or Bob's scout versus its nature.
Yeah, which is actually better because I was just doing health.
This sounds like something you would really need a burglar for.
Yeah.
If only we had one of those.
And we could
What's your nature?
I got a little information.
Yeah, what's your
4? It's only 4.
Oh, it's only 4. Okay,
it's not too bad. It does have a nature of 5 though, so it is a tough roll.
Let's be very clear. That's the difference between Bob's elven nature of hiding versus Sadok's halfling nature of sneaking.
So, but there's a couple things here that might make it interesting.
Okay.
Right, I can channel my nature.
Right. And
I'm fresh.
Right. Yep.
And
I can help you with the wise, right?
If he's using his nature, yes.
You're going to be shouting into the room at him, telling him what to do.
Right. It does have to. It does have to make sense from a fictional standpoint, but yes.
And I can, and because this is incredibly challenging, I could channel. I could use channel my inner hidden depths to get another dice. So I could get a lot of dice here.
Can't you use persona also?
I think Carnal is you need to drink some water. Otherwise, you are going to be
that's a good idea.
Really grinding.
That
All
is,
right.
you know what? Just remember that at the end, because I was hoping to get Bob with a condition, Ryan, and you stole that from me. Bob doesn't even have. Oh, he has 1 unit of water. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I am no
no,
longer.
you're no longer hungry and
now-
thirsty.
Do you? Is that something you guys want? I'll be
I want
brave.
to go back in there.
I
mean,
can do it.
Yeah, I mean, buddy, this is put up for shut up time. You're the one with 4 persona and 5 fade. I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could get the control device and maybe turn it off, and
Well,
then
it's on the side of the bench, but yeah,
He's got to get
Yeah.
past the thing.
get to it.
And can I tell you just I had a choice if I wanted to take something about sneaking in the shadows, and I chose not to.
When you leveled up.
Yeah. All
Not
right.
the sneaking kind of dwarf. All
well,
right.
you
So-
didn't want to be like your brother. I mean, because he's
Right.
the sneaky one.
All right. I'm gonna let's go for it.
Okay, perfect.
You can do it, buddy.
All right. So, you guys are going to reopen the secret door, and then you are going to very discretion with a great degree of discretion, right?
Yeah.
You-
I mean, I'll even to the point where I'll give my torch to somebody with a free hand, so
Okay.
that I'm only in the.
I will hold the torch for you, Sadak.
Right. Obviously, you need to see somewhat of light, so there's
Yeah,
going to be a little bit of light leaking.
But if I go in with the torch and
Yeah, well,
I'm
that-
like this,
that-
you know.
yeah, that's probably kind of a no-brainer, right?
I'll hold it at the edge of the door. I got you. I got you.
Okay, so
I know the risk you're taking for us.
Sadak.
so
I really needed the adult incontinence things. I should have bought those for real.
Yeah, what it is he's so small, this thing doesn't even realize he's
Oh,
there.
absolutely. I mean, it's just like it's just like the halflings, from Lord of the Rings. They can just kind of like disappear.
All right, Ryan. Just remember, don't make me feel bad about talking you into this.
All right, so Ryan.
Yeah,
So,
make sure you listen to me.
all right, so
or
Ryan,
or you get hurt.
you're going to go down and make a scout check.
So I'm in sneaking, correct?
Yes.
So this is actually my nature.
So, because you have scout, you have to roll scout.
Oh,
Now you can channel your persona.
correct. That's
fine.
what I'm going to do.
But-
There we go.
that's why.
Okay.
That's
but-
what I thought you were going to do.
But yeah, so if you're sneaking, you do
All right.
have to roll
All right,
that. Okay.
that's fine.
So you're going to start with a scout check. Now this is going to be a versus, not independent, because this creature has the nature of guarding, and you're going to roll against its 5 dice of nature.
Yeah.
This is going to be a turn on the grind. Now you did mention before that you were going to tap into your
Hidden depths
hidden depths.
for me.
Yep. Now you want to channel your nature.
Yep.
This is within your nature because sneaking is something that you do as a halfling. So that's good. Now, channeling your nature, even if you pass, still reduces your nature by 1. But if you fail, it reduces it by how much you failed by. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is within your nature, so you're totally fine. I forgot.
And
Now, you can spend additional persona points, right?
Yeah.
But real quick. So you're channeling your nature. So reduce your current persona by 1, and then increase your total spent by 1.
oh, so persona spent 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So current persona should go down by 1. Total
Yeah.
spent should go up by 1.
Okay, I see. I can do it here too.
You can do it right here.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, but you can spend additional persona for additional dice.
Right. Which I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah. well,
let's
Before-
just do.
before you roll,
Yeah.
Derek, I'm
Yes.
taking one of my scrolls out and getting it ready.
Okay.
Set my staff up against the wall.
Got it. Perfect. The ethereal appendage is ready.
Yep.
Noted.
And,
And you're-
then
and
I'd
you're-
like to.
Yeah. What's up,
Go
Matt?
ahead, sorry, but
No,
Is
Matt.
that
no,
ethereal
wait,
appendage
go,
just like
go.
to grab them?
It's basically ghost hand.
Love it. Love it.
So maybe I could try and activate that thing from a distance if I need to.
What were you saying, Erber, Matt?
I was saying I want to use my Tol Amroth.
Yes.
I'd be like, all right, these things, by what I've heard, have like special like attack patterns. And so like if it's like gonna pull back, it's gonna do a punch. If it like brings its arm up, it's gonna smash. And then they have combinations. You just got to watch out. Like they might do like 3 or 4 attacks. They'll do like 3 attacks. If his head turns sideways, if it tilts, it does 5 attacks. Just
He gives you
pay
the
attention to the patterns.
he gives you the Elden Ring beta on the
Yeah.
Now
There you go.
this isn't a board game; they're playing a video game.
Yes, right. So
Yeah.
so real quick, Ryan, you had how much persona before you started doing all this?
I had 4.
So yeah, so your current persona should go down to 2, right?
Because I'm spending a couple.
Because you're spending
more.
2 points. You're spending 1 to channel nature, and you're spending 1 on a persona spend. So your current persona should go from 4 to 2, and your total spent should go from 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, because this is aid, and because he's giving you advice before you go in about how these golemed creatures work of Tol Amroth, you get a die of aid.
Die of aid.
Yep. And that is going to be your grand total. So you've got 3 dice from Scout.
Would my arcane knowledge help here at all?
No.
As an arcanist?
You could try to help him, but you have to describe how you're helping him in a way that makes sense, given that this is him trying to sneak past the golem.
Right. Well,
Now, normally you cannot do that. However, if you
Sure.
make a good description for it, I can allow a skill to be used for that.
Yeah, golems would use magical detection.
Sure.
And so maybe the normal physical things he would do aren't as important as doing this instead to avoid arcane detection.
Got it.
Right. So, learning those things in the lab, you learn what's important and what's maybe not as important.
So here's the deal. By helping him, that means that you are putting yourself at risk. So that means at a certain level, Tane is sort of getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like maybe you're coming forward and you're trying to like distract the creature or obfuscate
You have
its,
your scroll out.
or,
Right.
or obfuscate its magical senses so that he's harder to detect. The point is, whereas Erber is using aid and just giving
Right.
advice and is insulated from any conditions,
I'm
you are helping. That means you are at risk. So if Ryan fails this and I give a condition, you're going to get a condition too. That's the almost important part. You're,
understood.
You stuck your head too far into the
you
room.
stuck your head too
Yep.
far in the room. Okay, so then you're going to get a die of help as well, Ryan. So this is 12 dice versus 5. I mean,
this should be good.
Ooh, you got it.
Bone balls this
Come
way.
on, you got this, man.
12 ones.
Shut up.
Jeez, well, way to wish it into existence.
Good job there, Mr. Scott.
whenever you are ready, Ryan.
Woo.
yeah.
Oh,
Five.
okay. Yeah, you crushed it. Okay, so don't forget to mark a pass
No
for your
6s. Wow.
Don't forget to mark a pass for your scout roll there, Sadok. Very well earned. All right, Sadok. Tane uses some mystical sort of a quick mystical muttering, and the golem's vision becomes temporarily based on movement only, and like a T-Rex, and you're able to stealthily, creepily, moving with all of your halfling skill and all of your burglar knowledge, you make your way across this chamber to the far side of the room, where you can see now that there is a there we go. Where you can see that there is the workbench that Tane identified, and you can see that there is a sort of very faint shimmering around the side of the room or side of the table, and you realize that there is a hidden compartment inside of this stone bench. Also, that is a turn, so we are going to grind.
Okay.
So, everybody mark hungry and thirsty. Sadok and Erber also lose fresh.
And I have this torch right now.
Yes, and that torch goes out. So
Poof.
Bob, subtract.
I'll light one.
Subtract a torch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's delete that one. Get this one up.
There you go.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so Sadok, you carefully move your way over, and now you're standing in front of this sort of very vaguely glowing side entrance, or not side entrance, but secret panel on the side of the stone door or stone table. What do you want to do, Sadok?
Secret panel. Well, I am lockwise, so I will try to open it.
Okay. Make a sapper test, criminal test.
I think it's
Sapper.
criminal.
I think it's Sapper.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I
Well,
think
it's
it's
not-
Sapper.
Sapper was traps. I don't know if criminal might be locks.
That's what I
I
used
thought
before.
criminal was sneaking past stuff. So, I mean, I was
Well, that was
completely off on
scout.
that one.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I was completely off on that.
Criminal, blah, 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 picking pockets or picking locks.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So criminal.
Yeah.
And I want to look at my stuff that I can spend points on. which is because I'm going to be using my wise here to help me here. I don't.
Right. So the way your wise is going to be able to help you is you'll be able to re-roll failed dice or all your failed dice with persona and fate spends.
And is there a way I could put my riddling nature into this? Like not like that abstract idea of like a
no, because this is
game.
this is not a riddle. This is just a locked secret container.
So criminal. I am going to channel my quick-wittedness now.
Okay. And this is going to be Ob 3, Ryan.
Independent.
Independent. Ob 3.
Can we use since I have crafting as nature? Can I be like, make sure you're
No, because he's hidden. He's on the other side. Yeah, he's on the other side of the room. So no one can help him or aid him. He's too far away.
You got this.
And so my right now. I would have to wait for my roll to actually happen for anything to use either my fate points or my persona.
Unless you want to channel your nature again.
But this is not. But
this would be outside of your nature.
Yeah.
Which you can still do.
Be based off the film. Yeah, I'm going to do it. So channel nature, reduce by 1.
Spend a persona point again, reduce your persona, increase your persona, and then hit your channel nature.
And it's outside my nature.
And this time it is outside of your nature. Correct.
Yeah. 8 versus 3. All right.
You got this.
Woo!
That's not even the average.
All right, Ryan. So because this was outside of your nature and successful, your nature is taxed by 1. So your nature does get taxed by 1.
Okay.
So your nature is now 3 of 4.
3.
Yeah.
Oops.
But you don't need to roll spend anymore because you passed. So expertly and under the sort of, you can imagine like the golem's eyes have like this like spotlight effect, and they're like beaming through the room, and the halfling is sort of like duck diving and dodging and weaving through the beams. And, he's so small compared to this golem. Like at one point, he's like literally hiding in the shadow of the golem, and he makes his way over to the stone bench and he's trying to work on this thing as like the golem is still searching because the golem can feel someone's present. And, Tane's trying to like, kind of keep him back with this dispelling nature. And Sadok is working carefully, moving his hands expertly and adroitly in the darkness. And then when finally, Sadok, the panel slides aside. And inside, you see glittering gold and a large sack or pouch, which is inscribed with golden and silver thread and tied at the top with very, very, very exquisite silk. But there is...
Oh, my goodness.
There's 8 stacks of gold in here.
Wow.
And you should have dumped your pockets before you went in there, man.
And I'm going to put this here, but I'm going to change this to mysterious pouch. And okay.
So I'll be like, inside the pouch, it probably controls the thing.
So I'm gonna drink my water. And throw my skin on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
We should probably all do that, right?
I don't have any right now.
And then I am going to put that pouched item where this water skin was.
Oh, you're throwing away your water skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
King, can I have a swig?
And then so I'll get rid of the.
Put your water skin in the box or in the compartment so the other group finds it.
Sure, I'll do that.
No, that's why I put it on this. That's why I put it on the screen. So
and then I put that pouch in that slot.
You should be able to access it.
Yeah.
You should be able to.
And then I open my sacks.
Okay.
And in each hand, and I put the gold. I don't know how much is in each sack.
Each sack can hold pack 2. So if you carry 2 sacks in your hands, you can walk out with all the gold.
That's the goal.
So yeah,
you can hear him ching 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 ching.
Listen,
the golem looks at him. He stops.
We don't
ching 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 when he looks away.
We don't fuck around. This guy's a pro. Okay.
Hell yeah, he is.
Yeah, so technically, do we even have these? Yes, we do. Technically, what that looks like is... Oh, what happened there? There we go. Something moved. Yeah, technically what that looks like is you've got... Oh, Jesus. This thing really is not wanting to work. Okay. Yeah, so you've got extra slots, and then you fill those all up with gold. That's how that actually works. So, over several painstaking minutes, you see the thief.
One coin at a time.
He's got a big bag of loot, and he's like, "Well, this is just a small sack, I guess." It's a good thing. I was like, "How are you going to carry all this?" Oh, yeah, you got your small sacks, and then. We only roll once. This is called Let It Ride. This is a principle of Burning Wheel games. Like, we're not going to make him test another scout check.
I was wondering if you had to make the same check on the way out.
It's called Let It Ride. Basically,
That's nice.
Also known as the only fun once rule. But basically, like, unless the situation is completely meaningfully majorly
I guess
changed.
if the situation changed, then you could.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I like that. That's nice.
Well, I do realize I can hold on to the water skin, right? Because I can just put it in my pack 1.
Yes.
They're all.
There, it is a pack 1, so you can put that.
I'll leave it empty.
There goes
All
the
right.
cool thing for the next party.
Actually, you know what I do? Instead, I put the 1 coin. Bink. One little.
Just one coin.
Just put a rock in there or something.
Where's that pocket lint?
Yeah, rock.
One of the
No, the
that's a
pocket,
resource.
the pocket lint is resources. All right.
Helena says, it'll cost you the torques.
And then, as carefully as you did, Sadok sneaks past the massive golem, and you guys make your way back out of the chamber.
I told you there'd be something worthwhile in that room. Good job.
Closing it
Can I
behind
have a drink of water?
You may.
Thank you.
And shut the door.
Yep. All right. You guys
Good job.
you guys did it. That was nice.
MVP right there.
I'm going to eat a dried sandwich.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watching the halfling do that works up an appetite.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. It's like, all right, you just did a great job. Now cook me some dinner.
So I'll put my scroll back and grab my staff.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay. So everyone drank water or ate a ration except for Erber. Is that right?
I am drinking right now. There you go.
Cool. All right. Perfect. All right. Erber is also now not hungry and thirsty. Okay. Well earned. You guys spend a few moments back here in the statue hallway. And Sadok is, laden with loot. He's got 2 bulging small sacks, one in each hand. Carnelas is currently carrying the torch.
Yep.
And somehow also with his bow.
No, I just didn't want to keep messing with it.
Which is totally fine. But yeah, the bow is put away while you have the torch out. And so you've got a bunch of gold now and a small pouch, which is inscribed with gold and silver thread and filigree and tied with a very, very fine silk thread.
I say we look inside.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Inside, you open it up, and inside is a glittering white powder with flecks of rainbow iridescence throughout it.
Cocaine. Elven cocaine.
It's Elven Coke. It's
Residium.
It's Elven.
I've heard of this.
It's Residium, yes. You're not exactly sure.
I always knew you.
You're not
Go right to the
exactly.
top
You're
of
not
the
exactly
dungeon.
sure what this is.
Can somebody
kinda
identify it by any chance?
Ritualistic sacramental or anything?
I wouldn't even know.
I could probably try and identify it, but it's going to cost a check.
A turn, you mean?
A turn, yeah.
As I'm really thinking about it, and the coins moving around, I'm saying I'm happy to divide this gold up so it's not all on one of us. If there's some.
Well, I don't know if your teammates have room.
I'm
I
full.
do not.
Well, I have 2 large bags, but then I have no hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, right now you're not even carrying a weapon, Erber.
It's the neck.
got
The
one
daggers
dagger.
on
Oh,
my
you
neck.
got a dagger on your neck. Okay, got it.
Yeah. That's all I can do right now.
I love how Erber started off with like a crossbow, and now he's got just a little dagger on his neck.
It wasn't a crossbow. He
What?
never fired it. It was a trap disarming.
Yeah.
This armor.
I will say
I couldn't replace it because those people are poor.
I typically have held the torch for us, and if I can't do that now. And if
I'll hold the torch.
Oh,
I just can't hold the torches.
yeah,
thank you.
I could, let's see. I have a jug of water. I could. Does anyone have any water skins that need refilling?
Yes,
can
I do.
Set down the
I
empty
do.
jug. Okay, so
I could take one droplet of water.
take one from me and add it to your stuff,
Excellent.
Yeah, you can
and
redistribute
then someone
that.
else could do that.
Got it.
All
Yep.
right, and now I can set my jug down
Yep.
because it's empty,
Yep.
and now I have an open hand.
all right, I give you a.
So I could take one of those golds.
Give it to you.
There
I gave
go.
you the sack.
There you go. And you can transfer the gold over into that sack.
Alright.
Alrighty.
I'll let you grab it.
There you go.
Yeah, I
Got
don't
it.
wanna- Too
All
many.
right. So now you're literally walking through the dungeon with a staff in one hand and a bag of gold in the other.
Heck yeah.
It's a perfect adventure.
That's a sign of success.
just, so,
Yep.
just so we're clear. I mean, I think that's baller, but that's
Hey, now, I think you said walking. You mean swaggering.
right. So I agree.
You
Oh,
got
this
that pimp
gold
walk
is.
going.
I got
Ray.
bursitis in my shoulder. This bag of gold is so heavy. I can't.
Click, jingle, click, jingle,
Yes.
click, jingle.
Gandalf's got a new.
Echoing.
Yeah, Gandalf.
Tie the bag of gold to the end of your staff like a hobo.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Boothby is literally walking around with a glowing elven crown. So there, we gotta update the pixel art here, buddy.
He's got like 3 artifacts.
That is true. He does have 3 relics. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well,
so do you guys want me to try and alchemy this stuff and figure out what it is?
I don't mind. We seem to be okay at the moment. Nothing is attacking us.
yeah, I think that would be more appropriate, Jim Scott, for a camp check.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So thinking
I will
about this
Save it
before
for
we end up wrapping
Right, because remember,
at any point.
it's 8:50, and usually we
Yep.
try to once we get to 9, we try to kind of wrap things up so we can do the end stuff and then finish up. So obviously we started a little late, so we'll probably do one more major thing, but you guys can decide where you want to end. And
Do
stuff
we
like that.
want to try the ritual to seal, rebind the demon?
You just gonna go for it? No torques?
Yeah.
What are the consequences?
Well, if he fails,
Yeah.
I can twist, or I can I can give him success with a condition.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
The problem is you are not on the map right now,
Right.
so moving to a new area
Okay,
requires a check.
Do we even have any?
Oh, we lost somebody. Who did we
Checks.
lose? Oh, Matt lost stuff.
Matt.
Yeah, Matt lost stuff. That's all right.
Sinolus has 1 check. Okay.
Yes.
So we could camp if we wanted to, but then that's another turn.
Yeah.
Of the grind.
I apologize for people at home, but once somebody drops off, it messes up all the,
I'm sure he'll be back
No,
momentarily.
he'll be
There he
back.
is.
There he is.
There he is. Okay.
Way to screw it all up, Matt.
All right. Yeah. So Bob does have a camp check, so you guys could go to camp. But remember, when you go to camp, that's another tick on the
Yeah.
thing. And you guys all did just spend all your water and stuff drinking and eating food for some. I don't know. But you got 3 ticks left before you grind again. So I mean, there's some min maxing you guys could do.
Can we look at this door first?
You can
as to- I
Absolutely.
mean, this door seems significant at the end of the hall.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think once Matt gets back in, he's muted right now, but
I
Sorry about that.
That's okay. You're
am-
all good.
I think I certainly feel as we get closer to the seals opening or waving, we should trying to do it even without any torques is wise, or at least
Yeah. And if anyone wants to sacrifice themselves, that also
Yeah.
makes it easier.
It does. It does.
but we do have
I can't do it because I have to do the ritual.
That is true. That is true. That is
So-
true.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would be more
Sacrifice
than happy.
I would have done it for sure, but I can't.
yeah, I can't. It doesn't work that way.
Yes. All
Not
right.
the way the magic works.
It will not allow it.
Just speak to me of the magic switch, the old magic.
Yeah.
I was there when they were written. It's one of the coldest things ever said. Okay, well, what do you guys want to do? You're currently standing in the corridor of statues. At the far end, there is a large.
I would like to examine this door
Yeah,
a little
go for it.
more.
Okay,
Yes.
so Bob,
Yeah.
you guys make
Party
your
leader has spoken.
yeah. So
Yes.
you
Careful.
guys make your way down the hallway past these sort of half-formed broken statues. And as you get closer and closer to the door, you realize that the shapes of the statues become more and more reptilian, more and more draconic, as if showing a progression from human to something else. As you reach the far door, you see that it's now revealed to be carved out of a single slab of obsidian and features a large black iron ring set on one side of it in order to open the door. Carved in relief upon the obsidian is maybe as many as a dozen howling faces carved into the door. But as you look, you realize that they are sort of arrayed. The faces that look like they have their mouths open like they're howling are arrayed in a sort of pattern of sort of 3 in like a semicircle, like 3 in an arc, and then like 4 in an arc, and then like 5 in an arc.
Some kind of riddle.
Or a puzzle.
That 3 in an arc, 4 in an arc, and 5 in an arc.
Yeah.
So 12 total.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Yeah, Riddler. Hello.
But the door does not appear to be locked. Erber begins examining it, poring over it, and feels fairly confident that it is not trapped, as I did not make him make a scout check.
Yeah. 3 people have to howl, then 4 people have to howl, then 5 people.
But it does have a door.
It isn't Dragonbane.
It does have a door. It does have a door pull. I'm just saying it does have a ring.
I mean, well, heck, the other group couldn't get in because they don't have 5 people.
How many seasons are in this world?
4.
So you are thinking Dragonbane. Derek doesn't know this. You guys are doing stuff.
I did buy the box set though.
I did see that. I kind of want to get the
Oh, how's that? I'll be right back.
I want to get the
What do you want to get?
You can go.
Okay.
I want to get the GM screen for Dragonbane, I think.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
One of the only things I don't really own, and my kids have kind of been wanting to play it, so it just seems like it'd be easy to do at the table.
The added bonus is the GM screen does fit in the box.
I saw. Was that you that someone posted that? And I was like, that is amazing. That also.
No, I wasn't the one that posted it, but that's where I keep mine.
That's
my box.
That's just so good. I mean,
I have basically everything in the box besides the actual little booklets because I have all those minis.
Oh yeah.
I've got 3 big books. Right, I got Path of Glory, Bestiary, and Rulebook, and then I still have the box set with the
book that it came with, the little GM book or the rules book is like disintegrating. So I have to use my other book all the time. But I have like the map up here above me, like sticky noted up above me.
I thought you would appreciate this, but yeah, this is the
cloth one.
This is the cloth map of the Misty Vale.
I mean, check the quality. I mean,
it's so good. It's like
the stitching on the end. It's so thick.
Did you buy that separately?
I bought it at the Free League booth at PAX.
Yeah, it is so good. And such a great map.
And I bought Dragonbane. I bought the new One Ring Elven book, the Realm of the Three. I bought the Dragonbane box set, the One Ring. I bought the 2. I bought the Moria cloth map, and I bought the Misty Vale cloth map, and I bought something else, and they gave it to me for like cost.
Nice.
You didn't name drop yourself?
Oh yeah. Steven came over
because those people are just workers. They have no idea.
Like, oh no, they knew who I was.
Okay, because when we were at Origins,
well, also like I said, no.
They're just workers,
to be very clear,
random people.
To be very clear too, they work with like Steven. So like he came over and like was like, take care of him, and I was like, all right, same.
That's pretty baller.
All right, so here we are.
I'm not pulling on the door. Just letting you guys know.
But once it's open, I will go in and look around.
I have to.
Right?
Yeah. Just pull the door then, like, go ahead, Elf, have fun.
So besides,
there could be some sort of I think in these situations we could try to work it out. Like actually, if we think there's something here, or we could
try and find out like we've been doing the whole time.
Well, or make like it. Maybe we have your puzzle wise, right?
Yes, I'm trying to think of how that's a puzzle. Does it look like they could rotate or turn or slide or?
No, they seem to be very much carved into the obsidian.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, maybe we have to posture the same way they are in front of each one and then go down, down, down. Like 3 people do it on one,
Right.
4 do the other, and 5 do the other.
I just want to make sure that I'm very clear about this. The door has a handle, like
Yeah.
a big ring that opens it. Just
Yeah.
being
Don't
very.
wanna
And
pull
now,
it.
No,
is
I'm just
that-
saying. Like, there's no there's no seal, there's no hinges. Nope, it's a door. It's made of obsidian.
is that door pull where the 3, the 4, and the 5 are like centered around?
No, because the pulls over on the side. You know, like
Okay.
it's made of black iron and it's sort of set into the obsidian door. But the center of the door is more of like a motif. It's like a decoration.
I got nothing, guys, unless you want me to try and see if there's anything magical going on.
I mean, you could always
I got
spend a
wise,
check. You
but
could
I don't
always
know how to
spend.
use it.
You could always spend a test. You know, I mean,
Yep.
that's when in doubt. But
Yeah,
you know, obviously,
I could use. I don't know if I could use Arcanist in my wizard.
yeah. There's
sight
not really anything to
trait.
Arcanist here, but you could probably Lore Master or something like that, Scholar or something. It's kind of written.
Yeah.
It's written, so you could scholarly.
Yeah, I mean, there's even if it's just artistic, there's maybe something to figure out what this is.
But it'll cost
Yeah.
it'll cost you a test and it'll cost you a turn.
Right.
That's
So
the price.
maybe I could do Scholar, use my puzzle wise, and maybe leverage my wizard sight if I think I need it, to see if there's anything magical or arcane going on here.
all right.
I
Sounds
guess
like
the-
sounds like that's what you're doing, GM Scott.
If
So.
you guys are
I want
okay
you to
with
do
that.
that.
all right.
All right.
I want you to do that. I would like to help him with the wise Tol Amroth. God, I'm never going to get that right.
It would take us 2 checks to get back to camp.
Depends where you're at. You would have to make because you'd have to make a dungeoneering check to navigate the halls to
Yeah, the
get
twisty.
to the twisting halls to get back to say the ancient tomb, and then you're on the map, and then you can get back
Okay.
to camp. Hell, you could get back to town if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. So GM Scott, make a scholar check. Ob 2.
All right.
Can I help him with my wise?
You can
of
aid him with your
2.
wise.
Thank you.
And so I'm getting aid.
Mhm.
And so I have 4 dice ob 2 right now. Does anyone else have anything they might be able to aid me with?
Or help.
Does this door have any elvish
Or help.
significance? Is it's all humans and reptilian? Is that like what we're
No,
getting?
everything here is kind of elvish. Ish.
Should he help him with his nature of remembering something old?
Yes.
I mean,
He
yeah,
absolutely
I
could.
mean, I will think back if there's any stories that I know of any human transformations to dragons or reptilian creatures.
Theologian, anything religious that I
scares
could
me.
aid with?
I don't think this has any religious connotations, but you can help with remembering, Bob. You can aid with Tol Amroth.
Okay, so that's 1 aid from Matt and 1 help from Bob.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm up to 5 dice.
Yes.
You got this.
Reading weird inscriptions, Ob 2. Okay. Yep.
All right. Let's do this.
Hey, there
Hey.
you go, my man.
Excellent.
Mark a scholar success.
Good to go.
Since my scholar goes up by 1 to 3.
Nice. It takes you a few moments, and the turn burns on, and of course, another torch needs to be lit because the torch has gone out again. So you guys will need to burn
I
it.
light and give it to Herber.
Got it. Perfect. It takes you a few moments, and then you recall with the help of Karanalas, less so with the aid of Herber, although he does understand the significance of this place and to these elves, and to the power that these elves believed in music. The way that they bound and summoned demons was through music. And as you look at the shape and the array, you realize they're not screaming. They are singing. And they are arrayed as a choir.
All righty then.
If I would put a harp, that's where I would put a harp.
You think the harp's
Yes.
in there, or you think we need the harp?
Yes,
Someone's
maybe.
Herbert, you want this harp? Open the door.
I'm waiting until the GM's done talking. I will. I just want to make sure the GM's done talking.
I'm done
You
talking. I'm done talking.
All right, I opened the damn door.
All
But I
right,
check for traps first.
Yes, of course. You do check for traps, and there are none present, so you're fine. And the door is flung wide, revealing beyond a chamber which actually flickers and glows with some of its own illumination, although it is inconsistent and flickering.
I think I'll have a look around. Oh, this
Oh,
room's
oh,
crazy.
so sweet.
Oh, that is sick.
Oh man.
All right.
Final Fantasy.
Before you is a 6-sided hexagon chamber filled with alternating obsidian and red stone slabs across the walls. The ceiling slowly rises above to a singular point 20 feet high, with a height of 8 feet at the walls before it begins to dome over. Directly at the point of the ceiling, there is a pitted globe made of an ancient crystal that is blackened and cracked, but still sputters with a weak, fluttering light, the result of a continual light spell that has been in existence for over 1,000 years. Directly across from you, an altar, carved of the blackest marble, sits directly across the main entrance, and subtle runes are inscribed upon its surface. In the back, a strange dark sigil is carved into the wall. Although difficult to see, there are 2 passages from this room, one to the left of the altar and one to the right of the altar. So look kind of between those two pillars. There's like a hallway there. Bob, as you enter, you immediately jump in and begin looking around.
Of course.
However, there's nothing to scout, so you're lucky and doesn't actually trigger.
Oh, man.
But as I said before, so this room is crackling with its own light a little bit. And there is an altar, which is actually, I would say, Bob, as you come, you do see that there are subtle runes carved into the altar surface. And there is a crackling light. And then there is 2 hallways, one to the left and one to the right, Bob.
All right. Well, the runes, do they look like anything that we've seen before?
They are
different.
They are an ancient language, perhaps even
Not even Elven?
predating Elven, or it's a very ancient Elven.
Hmm. I could spend some time trying to think on this, but I was wondering if this altar has any significance to the theologian.
Perhaps.
Yeah, we'll go up to the altar and give it a study.
Yeah, so Boothby, this Amos is quite sure that this has got some sort of religious significance, but you're not sure that there's anything necessarily magical at work at the altar. If anything, you believe that this is a chamber dedicated to the dead.
Or in their graveyard.
Do I know any songs of the dead?
Perhaps.
Can I write double nature?
Singing
Remember my
natures?
singing?
Oh, you picked something other than sing, didn't you? When you
I have singing
created
and
your
remembering.
character. Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking if I know a song, like a song of the dead, or like almost what you would sing at funerals, or I guess sacrificial things, I could try to sing something here. I don't know if I do know anything, but if I did, I would start singing.
All right, Bob, what are you trying to sing?
I want to sing a song of the dead. There's got to be a song that like people sing
Bob,
in this time.
It's a good idea, so it's not going to cost you a test.
Okay.
Bob begins singing an ancient elven lament. And as he does so, his voice is joined by a musical accompaniment from the nearby left hallway, where you begin to hear the soft, chiming, plucking sound of harp strings.
Let's go.
Nice job, Bob.
I make sure
Good job,
I finish my verse.
Oh,
Whatever
yes. As you finish your lament for the dead, you can softly begin to hear that the sounds of the chiming, beautiful, forlorn harp begin to fade away.
Well, I feel like everything is pointing due left.
All right.
So we'll start to march down the hallway again to this opening, making sure everything's good.
All right.
Searching for traps.
Of course. This one? Yes. Okay. All right. All right.
That looked good.
To the left, there is a low hallway filled with freshly tilled earth and dirt. You can see numerous signs of bones and partially decayed bodies laying amongst the dirt. However, as you look into the depths of the hallway, you realize that with the flickering light of your torch, that it extends fairly straight ahead and doesn't deviate or change too much. Why is that not a thing? Sorry. Yes. Okay. And at the end of the hallway, filled with this kind of grave dirt, you can see, flittering in the dark, a harp floating in air.
Where is it? I can't see it.
I go, Elf, is there a you seem to know about this. Do you know of anything of how to get this? Because it seems like it's too easy.
You say that as I almost got killed by a golem earlier.
Keep singing as you go and collect it.
Sure. I walk forth singing the same song that I sung before.
Okay, Bob, as you start to move forward, the harp
what was in the Star Wars movie? I close my eyes and just trust the Force.
Yes, the harp does begin to respond to your elven words as you begin to string forward, and you can now see that as you get closer and closer and closer to the harp, you can see that this harp is made out of an ancient, sort of white, bluish colored wood, carved over, and it's. The strings seem to be made out of hair as you approach.
Oh, wow.
But you can see that they're sort of plucking and almost reverberating with your voice. Not from your voice, but from the sound that you're singing, from the song that you're singing. As you move forward, it begins to make light trilling noises and tinkling noises and all the like.
All right, how close am I to it?
I mean, as close as you want to be, I guess.
I go right up to it.
Yep. And it's, maybe even now seems more, strong, and it seems to be.
Is it just sitting on the ground, or is it on a pedestal?
No, it said it was floating.
It's floating in the air.
Floating. Okay.
Yeah.
And
did you say it was translucent?
It's made of like a blue-white material, but like a wood, but it's very strange. It's kind of there and not there all at the same time.
Okay.
I look. Oh gosh, this is gonna be some kind of. I look back at my party and for the Oh, keep going. Okay.
Yeah, we look back at you, waiting for you to
when
do
you
the
grab
thing.
it.
All right.
When you grab it, run.
I stay singing, and I assume, maybe that is there like a musical talent in this game?
No, I don't think so, but there probably would be a skill that would do that. I don't know if there's a perform skill.
Well, I was just gonna say, because I would grab it and play along with it if I knew how to play an instrument, but maybe I'll just sing with it as I try to grab it.
Probably be beginner's luck. All right. Well, so you keep singing and then you grab it.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh.
All that freshly tilled earth.
All right. Some of those bodies violently rip free of the ground and begin ripping and pulling themselves up as they begin pulling themselves out of the ground. And you are surrounded by 6 zombies which have pulled themselves free, surrounding the group in the hallway, particularly surrounding Karanalos, who, of course, is at the end of the hallway with the harp.
We all point to him and say, he did it.
The zombies begin immediately closing in on you. What do you guys do?
I run.
Run.
Oh, get out of there, Karanalos. Come on.
Amos might do something. I am running towards my party.
All right.
Amos.
Yes.
Is going to kill himself.
Cleanse his face.
Amos,
and he might cast a spell in the meantime.
Amos is going to speak with the voice of the 1,000,000.
Okay.
The voice of the 1,000,000 voices of the lords of the life and death. Erupt from my throat as one with a crack of thunder. And we are going to use the extirpation invocation.
Okay. What the hell is that?
There's a lot of words.
Page 226.
It's on page 226.
I'm not going to get all of them.
Okay, the extirpation of the lords of life and death as you shear away the power that animates undead and immolates them in a power of blue flame. It immolates all undead within range of your voice, and if they are successfully performed, the targets are instantly destroyed where they stand. All right, well, you do not have amulet. You do not have the amulet of soul, the Daystar. So this
Not yet.
This is going to take a turn.
Take a turn and 4 burdens.
And 4 burdens.
Oh my god.
Jeez. So we're carrying you out of this.
Okay, so Boothby, you immediately take the 4 burden. To set the obstacle, total the might of the creatures that wish to target.
Right now, I don't have to target them all.
Right, no, you can,
but
though.
I don't know what their might is.
Yeah, we'll just say it's enough. You're might 3. You're in a badass position. You got the harp.
But
you can
the
target
difficulty is based on how many there are.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, well, their might's 2.
All right, so I'm gonna go for. So might 4 would be, or so it's 2 each.
Yes.
2 each is what it is.
Yes, correct.
Does your might make a difference?
Yeah, his might is 3. So
what if it was 4?
Then he could target 8 of them or 4 of them.
Yeah, I can target.
He could target total value of equal to twice his own might.
Yeah, so I can try 3. That is ob 6.
Fucking rock and roll.
Don't finish your sentence just yet.
Why?
I'm gonna drop my pack.
Yeah.
Dig to the bottom to pull out that elven spellbook.
Okay.
And I'm gonna raw dog cast Destiny of Heroes.
Okay.
Straight from the book.
Okay, well, we got a couple of things happening here. GM Scott is going to cast Destiny of Heroes, which is free.
Right.
GM Scott, by all means, please cast. How long do you want this to last? For it's going to be targeting one other person for 2, and I guess he is trying to kill them. So, all right, 4, GM Scott.
All right. Let's see if we can get this going here.
This is an Arcanist check for 4. Also, this is a free casting time. So, as Boofy, as you begin to cast the things, GM Scott throws his pack on the ground. He pulls out his bout and he speaks the words, channeling raw power into the very fabric of the fate of destiny. He strums the strings like a harp. He infusing you with heroic power. The magical harp Euphonius begins glowing in Karanalos's hand, aiding you in this. Yeah, the horn of you have summoned the horn. All right, GM Scott, go for it.
All right, so this is ob 4.
Yes.
And I am definitely going to have to channel my nature in this one.
Okay, perfect. We're all channeling.
All righty. So channel nature, that gets rid of my last persona.
Yep.
And
I think you made your persona.
I went the wrong way.
My persona goes up. All right.
All right. So I'm going to roll this, casting this spell.
Yep. Succeed.
Oh, what? Look at that.
All right.
Nice.
Filled with the destiny of heroes, Amos Sheepscar, peasant, begins to glow with the powerful might of the destiny of heroes. Engaged in regalia, he speaks down for the lords of light, of creation, of life, fury of life and death as he extricates the things. Your might is now 4, Boothby. So now you can target 4 of them.
Right, but I don't think I can succeed at that many.
But 6 is as good as 8, buddy. You're not going to get 6 anyways. You might as well
help with
No, because he's casting this for free. It would take it longer. It would fuck it up his casting. So
okay, cool.
I'm saying just embrace the suck. Just go for it.
Get what you get.
Use a trait against yourself. Go for it.
But see, I want to try and succeed at it.
Okay. All right. Listen, buddy. It's up to you.
So 8 successes.
And no one can get any aid, right?
So, I can channel my nature.
Yep.
I can use my trait, Touched by the Gods.
Yep.
I have the sacrament of a holy water I can use as part of this casting.
Yep. So that's a gear die.
It gives me 10 dice.
So you're not going to make 6 anyways.
Oh, wow. That's some confidence from our GM.
I'm just saying, if you've priced yourself into pace, remember, because if you fail, I can still give you success.
At a cost.
No matter what the ob is.
Can you use your fancy hat?
I can spend my other 2 persona, get another 2 dice.
Okay.
Yeah, the GM makes we get success, but the other team comes in and steals a heart from us.
12 dice versus ob 8.
Oh.
Do you have what are your wises, Boothby?
Demon.
Oh, that's not going to help you.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah. That's why I wanted to go do the ritual first.
Yeah, I understand.
So there's no way at all to help him at all, right?
Not really. I mean, he's. I mean, here. I mean, you know what? His invocation time is 1. Do you have ritualist? If you have ritualist, you can help him.
Needs a little salt wise.
You know what? Here, wait. Boothby, wait. I will say Bob is helping you because he is singing, and the power of the harp is now reverberating with his singing. So that is a help die.
That's not.
Right.
That's pretty good.
So 13 die versus ob 8.
I was sort of thinking use my wise Tau or whatever. I'm sorry, I'll never say that right. It's just not going to happen. Derek, just don't.
You got to learn the Dwarven version.
Just call it. You know what? Just call it TA. Call it TA.
TA.
All right.
I was thinking like I'm speaking, telling him the old language because I know that, so I'm speaking. I don't know that, but the old language to translate so they understand it more.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, Boothby, you got a dice of aid too from Laughing Out Loud, from Erber, from his knowledge of Tol Amroth.
All right, 14 dice versus ob 8.
Yeah. Right. GM Scott, anything from you? Do you have a ritualist or theologian?
I have neither of those.
Okay, Ryan, anything from you?
No.
But I have a nature of running.
That's not going to help.
Look at me, catch me.
Well, all right. Then Boothby, may the force be with you. Let's go.
Yes.
You got this. I see some singing.
Oh my God.
He made it. Okay, this is going to be a hard MVP pick between Ryan and the Golem and Boothby.
You know what? You know what? Ob8 is too fucking high. They all explode. I'm just going to kill them all. They just the zombies that are. Technically 4 of them are destroyed, but the other 2 are just like, my lord! they climb back.
Now you're a necromancer. Now you have minions.
They climb back. They are too cowed by the power of the fury of life and death. And Bob, you are surprised to learn that while holding the harp, you can understand them.
Understood them talking to me.
Yes, you understood. You heard them go, no, not that, not the power of the lords of life and death. He is come, the destroyer, the unraveler of worlds. Look at that crown. That is no mere peasant. That is a theurge lord. And they slink.
Bad for him.
They slink down underneath the ground as they are wiped out by the power of the Lord of Life. Now
I get a big health test.
Now Boothby, gain 4 burden. And make an ob 4 health test.
With 4 dice.
And no one can help him with those.
Tane looks over at Amos. Teamwork.
Well, look at the good news, Boothby. If you had failed, I would have given you a condition probably, and then you'd have to make the ob 4 health test, possibly with a penalty, and then get more conditions. So this might work out well for you. So, all right, buddy. Time to let's just get 4 dice and go home. That's
yeah.
Wow. All right, you become hungry and thirsty, angry, afraid, and exhausted.
Wow.
Hey, so I will carry him out.
Injured.
I'm going to put him in the bag now.
You literally rolled as worse as you can. That's great. Yep, from top to bottom. Yep, so you go in order. So hungry, thirsty,
and level 4 stigmata.
Yes, and he is bleeding from his eyes and ears.
As he should be.
As he
All
should
of the
be.
undead are
Goes to
burned
hell.
by
Yeah.
blue fire,
Yeah.
reduced to piles of salt.
They are turned into piles of salt.
But at what cost?
Oh, we should take
Hey,
the salt.
Oh, no,
Take
that's
some
a
for
Torchbearer.
cooking.
That's a
Take
fucking
some for cooking.
That is a fucking Torchbearer move right there. Yes, if you guys want to gather
Gotta
salt,
take that salt.
you
Yeah,
guys can gather salt. I will.
Salt wise should have helped.
Oh, you know what? I feel bad for that.
Where I have an empty wineskin, can I fill it with salt?
Yes, I think you can.
Excellent.
I'm
Okay.
doing the same thing.
All right, this lint here is not lint. It represents a pile of undead salt. Now, remember, this
Hey,
is
I got some of that. Can I switch it out?
you can throw away your normal lint and replace it with undead salt if you want.
Perfect.
To be clear, this is not just salt. This is undead salt that was turned by the power of the gods into pillars of
Shit.
salt. So you guys can steal up as much of this as you want. Oh, you guys can't control it.
Can't select
I know.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
not much room.
All right, hold on a sec here.
I feel better
Undead
now.
salt. All right.
Now
got
I
to do
wish
my
I had
thing.
that jug back.
Let me think. Torches can be held in packs of 4,
Yes.
so I can.
I
increase
still have a
this
bag.
into-
I still have 2 bags, and I can carry 6 in one bag with 2.
I'm
with 2
taking one.
hands.
I'm taking one. No. Give me one of them.
we love this salt.
I'm gonna leave the lint, and I'm gonna take the salt.
I put
All
too
right.
many there, but we'll say there's 6. There's 6.
Yeah. I grab. Stop taking my salt.
All right. So so to be clear, you threw away the lint pocket. Remember?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
See,
We'll find out next session. That'll be the most important piece of lint we ever needed.
right.
Right.
Because I
Salt.
played Zork.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't forget,
6.
there's also a harp that
Yeah.
needs to
Oh,
go.
I think I'm holding the harp.
No, you're holding
Yeah,
a bow.
how are you holding a harp?
I'll
I got a
hold-
bow.
I'll-
Because I'm physically. The bow has to be.
All right,
out
all right, all right. So
I'll-
if I'm holding
I'll
the harp.
carry the harp.
No,
or
you
I
will
can
not
carry it.
carry this harp. It speaks to me.
Can't you put something
Yeah,
in your
that's-
quiver like your bow?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I will hold the harp.
All right.
All right, let me
All
change.
right, I'm a little messed up, guys.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I-
you are.
I-
you,
How about you?
So yeah, I lock eyes with him for a
I
second.
grab-
I say teamwork. Yeah, he just starts bleeding from the eyes and starts to collapse. I run over to him. I'm like, what the fuck?
I just
I have-
pull my
I have-
bag out and go put them in the bag.
Just rub some salt in it. You'll be fine.
I didn't think I could do so many.
okay, so that is Euphonious Harp of the Grave. It is pack 2.
I can hold it with 2 hands.
Yeah, it's carried. You can wield it with 2 hands, or you can hold it. So yeah, but it takes 2. But you can.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so you got Euphonious Harp of the Grave, and you guys have claimed all the undead pillar salt that you want, and yeah. All right. Well, it's 9:30, and you guys got the fucking harps. So what do you guys?
Good to camp.
What do you guys want to
Yeah.
do?
I wait.
I need to go
I,
find
Camp or
it.
town.
I need to go
I-
earn a bunch
I-
of checks.
I
Yeah.
immediately give Amos a big jug of sip of water as he's imperiled
Okay.
from my thing.
I briefly washed the blood out of my face.
Right. Which is
As it
another.
just
Yeah.
pours back out.
Which is another good idea, because if you guys grind,
Yeah.
he will be.
Yeah,
he'd be
injured.
he would become injured.
So I'll get rid of one of my water.
Okay, and you can clear your hungry, thirsty.
Guys, if I don't have a drink of water in the next 5 minutes, my leg is gonna break.
That's how bad it is.
We need to camp.
Yeah.
We have
we only
no
have one
checks.
check.
We
That's
only
enough.
need one.
But what do you want to do? Take more checks? Get more
I mean, you don't have.
depending how
But
we
also
carry our
remember, if you go to,
conditions.
so you had 5 ticks when you went to camp. That was your first. Then you went back to adventuring.
This is
that's
2.
the second. If you go to camp, that's the third.
right.
Yeah.
Just
And then we
FYI.
have another one, and then we
Right.
can capture them.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but alternatively, you guys might just want to just end it here in the
Yeah.
relic room. Or
Yeah,
in the,
that's how I was
the
thinking.
harbor.
We just
Yeah.
We need to tend to Amos's
Right. I mean,
many
he does.
multitude injuries.
He does have, but you need checks for those to get recovery on him. I mean,
That's
he,
what I'm saying. We could go to camp. We have no checks to do anything.
right. You only have the 1 check from Caranolos, so
Which would probably be to look at the stuff
Right, and you wanted to look at you
Yeah.
still wanted to look at the powder and all this other stuff, and
So what happens is we get the grind, we all become hungry and thirsty. Then we have 4 more.
yep. But a turn
things.
hasn't happened yet, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
so
just
we technically
end
have a little bit
here.
of time. Right.
Cliffhanger.
And I think we do need to end here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up here then.
That was a crazy session.
Whoa,
Yeah,
what
it
a
was.
whirlwind session.
So when we set our goals, Ryan, I thought you would never get yours and I would get mine, and it turns out it's just the opposite. Because didn't you say you wanted to find the harp?
that was
I
Matt.
wanted to prove ourselves.
Oh,
I
that
don't
was
think
Matt. Okay.
Well, I think you proved yourself jumping through the legs of a freaking golem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I worked towards it.
Yeah.
It to be.
All right, so
I
let's
Debo a chain that never
yeah,
happened.
so let's go. Let's start with Bob, and we'll go left to right. So we're gonna do your goal, your belief, and your instinct. Bob, what was your goal?
My goal was to get the gold necklace or the.
You made
what's it
progress towards it because you did go there to get it,
we found out
and you found
information about
you found out information about it, but you obviously did not get that. So earn a fate point
Gotcha.
for that. And then what was your belief?
My belief is I will always have my friends back. I never really
No, you didn't
pushed
put yourself
towards that, so I would say no.
No. And then your instinct is to always scout, and you guys obviously that came up a couple times, and you passed those checks. So earn another fate point for that.
Thank you.
All right, Ryan, what was your goal?
My goal was to prove our worthiness to the elven spirit.
Well, you guys got the harp, and that was what he wanted you to do. So
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
So
that was the quest he gave you. So Persona achieved. I mean, you haven't gone and gotten his official approval yet, but he did say, "Return for me with Euphonius, the harp of the grave, and I will know that you have proved your worth." And you did that. So, what was your belief?
I believe the group needs me more than I need them, and I think going in there and getting that thing.
Yeah. So earn your fate point for sure. There, good.
Because Karamlas couldn't do it.
Yeah, right.
Karalis jumped out like a bitch.
You guys say that, but I'm a survivor.
And then Ryan, your instinct did not come up, obviously. So, GM Scott, what was your goal?
My goal was to defend the party using my wizard's Aegis, which I did not cast.
It did not cast out, so that's fine. Belief?
My belief was that my reliance on other people's wait, hold on. No, my reliance on others highlights my weakness in my magic. When I gain enough power, I will no longer need them. So
well, you didn't cast you did cast a spell.
I cast a spell and it was useful.
Yes, so I will say and you had to make him more powerful. So
yes.
I will say that's good for a fate point.
All right.
And then what is your instinct? Oh, to make a map, and you did.
To make the map, yep.
And you did. So earn another fate point. So 2 fate points for you for Tane. Amos, your goal.
Goal was to cleanse the bottom of the well of the undead inhabitants that had already been cleared.
Yes.
Did you say we had to do it, or that it just had to be done?
What did you specifically write?
I wrote cleanse the bottom of the well of the undead inhabitants.
Sounds like you did it to me for Persona Point. It's just called hiring outside contractors.
That's right.
Was your instinct? Sorry, what was your belief?
Defender of the defenseless.
I don't think so today. I don't know that you'd really did anything to really take action to defend the hell.
Karamlas was kind of defenseless.
I mean, the
with
okay, all right. Fate point. If you want to call him defenseless, but you know,
he was
he did
holding
jump
a
out
harp,
like a
not his
bitch.
bow.
I was holding a harp, not my bow.
All right. Yes, you stepped up. You do put yourself at great risk there to unleash was that a level 3 circle?
That was a level 3.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can see what happens when you do that, so that's good. Although Ob 8 was insane, though. Well, no, but it was counterbalanced because he rolled 8. He got the Ob 8 and then failed the Ob 4 with a 0, which is brutal. And then lastly, your instinct there, Amos.
To tend the wound when we camp, so it
did not come up. All right, Erber, what was your goal?
My goal was I will explore Tol Amroth.
TA
for the harp.
All right, perfect. Yes, obviously succeeded. Get your fate point. Or I'm sorry, Persona point.
All right. Instinct didn't matter because Mr. Bob kept jumping through the doors before I could inspect them. So.
Well,
there was no traps.
There were no traps on the doors. So don't forget your Persona point though for your instinct or for your goal. And then what's your belief?
Yeah, belief. If you are in a dungeon, you should explore new areas.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, cool.
Get a fate point. You guys definitely explored a bunch of new areas today.
Oh yeah.
And then my creed didn't really come up. I was like, I will do what I can to protect the party. I didn't really do much.
You should not have a creed yet. You can have it, but you don't get rewarded for it until you get to level 3, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, I was just filling it in because it was there.
Did anybody offer up a bit of gallows humor.
Well, salt joke people did maybe a little bit.
I think
our
Amos said before he
self-deprecating-
cast it, he said, "Okay, now I die."
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what? That is exactly the kind of thing that gallows humor is aiming for. Absolutely. That is totally gallows humor. So absolutely. Go ahead and get yourself we've never given this before, so I don't even know what you earn for
No, because it's pretty much. I mean, that our self-deprecating humor on our poor die rolling is
it's
always
almost a
been in
gimme.
there. Yeah,
Right, it's almost a gimme. Yeah, that is true.
but yes, yours stood out for sure, Amos.
It's got to be performed in character. Sorry.
There you go.
There you go. But I'll give you a fate point because you were so close. So earn a fate point for your gallows humor, Amos. All right. Lastly, did anybody? Nope, that's it. Okay. So MVP, the person who made the critical role of the session. And then there's the team worker, the person who worked the hardest to keep the group together and moving forward, kept them in good shape. The one who, despite the risks, who spent their gear and sacrificed their goals, all in the name of their companions. And then the MVP is the person who made the critical role of the session.
Well, MVP is probably Amos with the killing of the zombies, so we don't have to avoid any fights.
Yep.
That seems pretty straightforward.
Or Ryan.
And Ryan should be the other one.
Stealth check.
Well, that was great because all that gold is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I think if I think of a singular role that was so pivotal and just impactful and just it's the channeling of the spell.
It was the thousand voices.
Yeah, it's the thousand. It was
All right.
epic. It was this odds. So I think that's certainly
Yeah,
12 dice.
but
12
that's what I
dice.
think-
Ab 8 nailed it.
I think Sadak with the teamwork, he's giving people his water. He's holding on to the gold. He was having a torch half the session. He worked it to go back in there to get us.
Right.
Wealthy.
He did sneak in against the golem by himself and then succeeded and then also criminaled it open and got all the.
I was ready to help him.
All right. All right. So team worker for
He
you,
didn't need
Seta.
our help.
Team worker.
What do you get for teamwork?
Pat, you got a persona point for team worker. You get a persona point for MVP.
Good job, guys.
All right.
Nice.
Sick. All right. Well,
I gotta say, you people gripe about the flavor text and spells. The ones in Torchbearer are
They're
speak with
fantastic.
1,000 voices of the lords of life and death. It's like,
Yeah.
I see that.
And their
It's
names
actually a really
are
good name. That was a good name.
Yeah.
all of the
very
spell names
evocative.
are good.
yes. Granted, it's a lot cooler when then you roll 8 out of, get 8 out of 8 instead of like being like womp womp and rolling 2 and then it's like, "Rah!"
Yeah.
Because I think if you don't get it, none of them disappear.
Well, no, because if you fail the check, then I get to make the decision,
You
right?
get to
I can
choose,
give you success or I can twist. And if I give you success, like I could say, like, the power of the gods channels through you. You're exhausted, but you succeeded.
Oh, so you could have succeeded, gave him a condition, then he could have balls the 0-4 roll like he did, and then really hurt himself.
Right,
Oh,
that
that would have been crazy.
Correct. That is what I was secretly hoping for.
Yeah, that would have been rough.
I wanted to get him. His bar would have been filled up except for one more until death.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yes. So that's and that's also a lot of burden. Although it's nice, you found your shrine to the immortals. You guys, you might be able to take some nice advantage of that and cleanse some of your burden.
Get rid of it without a check.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
pretty good.
So that's a good reason to also get some camp checks and get back there and do that. So and GM Scott just needs to figure out an excuse to blow off this wizard Aegis so that he can.
I was so
I
disappointed when those skeletons
actually
were
have just-
gone because I was looking forward to doing this for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was happy you got that to see what you'd been planning.
I finally spent 3 fate and 3 persona, so
All right.
I'm level 2 now.
No.
Oh, sweet.
You're not
Well,
level 2 until you
in
go
town.
back. And once
I
you go
know,
back to
I'm-
town. Yeah. But once you go back to
I'm
town, you level
ready
up.
to be 2.
Yeah. And then that gives you an extra slot in your memory palace. Is that right?
I can now hold 2 spells in my memory.
Perfect. Just like Gygax intended.
Yes.
I was reading about how because it's so big in your spell book, because it takes up like when people have high circle spells, they tend to never actually memorize them. They only put them into scrolls.
Okay.
Because it's just much more efficient because it doesn't take up your whole memory palace because
Sure.
the most your memory palace gets up to is like not enough to really keep a lot of level 5 spells. So
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So you keep a variety in your palace and then your big scrolls.
yes,
big
exactly.
spells
For your
around the
big spells in
scroll.
there because you use those less frequently. So all right, well, and we also got some nice skill ups today, which is good. So yeah, good stuff.
And the cool thing is, I can now memorize that spell that I just cast out of the spell book and doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Although now you can't, but
Destiny of Heroes.
because you burned it out of the book. So, you
I
know,
did. I figured Dennis needed the help.
listen, it was cool. It was awesome. It was an epic moment. And Amos is still bleeding from his ears and eyes, but you know, he's only angry, afraid, and exhausted now, but at least he's not thirsty.
At least he's not injured. Yeah.
Right.
Because without that +1 might, I don't know if.
Well, he would have only been
they
able to
would've-
he'd only been able to do half the group, and then I probably would have
Right.
been less inclined to like just wipe them off the map. And you guys
So
probably,
then we'd have had a big fight after
then you would
that.
have had to have conflict, kill conflict for sure, or you'd have to flee. But then I would have been like, oh, but you
where I
have
would have gotten my goal of protecting the group with Aegis, but
well, you know, vigorous can't be choosers.
I do everything I can in this game to not gain fate or persona.
There you go.
points.
That's a real teamworker vibe.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. So thanks, everybody, for joining us for session 5 of Torchbearer. Obviously, the group now has Euphonius, Harp of the Grave. They'll probably be making their way back to the Guardian Spirit soon at the Reliquary to retrieve the Dragonbone Dagger, the Dragonbone Blade, which technically puts them in a position, maybe, to actually try to go fight the now named Pyoria, and potentially maybe defeat this while the demon awakens. We'll see. And how will Saturday Crew fuck them over? We'll find out next week. If you're a patron, you get to watch them as their thing over, because they'll find a way. You know, like this guy. I'm predicting the future. These guys are gonna come back. They're gonna be like, yes, we go to the Spirit. And he's like, oh, sorry, the other group was here and just took the play.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they
You
convinced.
know how they know that? They watch our videos.
That is true. They do watch our
Listen,
videos.
they do not. Everyone is sworn. Now, I have no way of enforcing that. It's only
That's true.
based off of honors. So, you know, honor, Scout's honor. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time on Knights of Last Call. Thanks, everybody.